Chapter 500. The banquet was a sea of pink. It was even more gorgeous than the last time Tao Yuan saw it. Pink roses and colorful roses covered the entire floor. It was even more gorgeous than a royal wedding. It was like a fairy tale, a dream for every girl. Until now, Tao Yuan still couldn't believe that she was the heroine of this dream. She had become the object of envy for all the female guests. She felt like a princess. If this was a dream, then she would never wake up. Lu Yanting nodded approvingly. You did well this time. You didn't disappoint me. Su Baihe's chest was filled with resentment. Her entire face was green. She was the daughter of a third brother. What right did she have to receive such treatment? When she got married, the wedding was far from this extravagant. How fancy. Does this still look like a company's annual meeting? Extravagant. Don't tell me our Lu family can't afford it? When did you become so stingy? I'm stingy? I just don't think it's worth it. She's not a daughter of a noble family. She's just a third brother's bastard. It's embarrassing for others to mention her, but you treat her like a treasure. You can't wait to tell the world. Everyone is laughing at you. I don't want to listen to your nonsense. If you don't want to, then leave. I'll leave. Do you think I want to come? Su Baihe was about to pull Lu Qingwan away when she stopped her. Why are you stopping me? Why should we be treated like this? Mom, if you leave, we won't be able to watch the show. Lu Qingwan had a mysterious look. So, what show? She whispered a few words in her ear and Su Baihe exclaimed. What did you say? Yanran. Show. Lu Qingwan quickly made a shushing gesture. Su Baihe nodded excitedly. Daughter, you're amazing. Tao Yuan came over to greet Lu Yanting. Lu Qingwan looked at her from head to toe with a faint smile. You're very beautiful today. Can't you tell that you're the third brother's daughter? You've been preparing for this banquet for a long time, right? You're not soft-hearted at all when you spend our Lu family's money. Do you think you can force my brother to accept you like this? Tao Yuan smiled. You've misunderstood. The entire banquet, including these decorations, were personally arranged by your elder brother. He put in a lot of effort. I advised him not to be so high-profile, but he didn't listen. Lu Qingwan's face stiffened. How could her brother treat her so well? Damn it. But when she remembered that she still had a trump card in her hand, she held back. Really? Then I hope you get what you want. However, I'm afraid that the greater the hope, the greater the disappointment. In the end, it will become a huge joke and you'll be the one to lose face. We're fine. You don't have to worry about us. Tao Yuan then left and continued to entertain the guests. Seeing that the time was almost up, but Lu Li still hadn't shown up, she felt a little strange. She called him, but no one picked up. Sister-in-law, you are so beautiful today, so beautiful that I can't open my eyes. Lin Yuqing praised in an exaggerated manner. Thank you. Where's my brother? I don't know, I can't find him. Impossible, right? He came half an hour ago and we went out together. But I've looked everywhere. Nothing happened to him, right? Impossible, maybe something happened to him at the last minute. I'll help you look again, don't worry. As soon as Lin Yuqing left, Pan Qi came, her two willowy eyebrows knitted together, looking very worried. Where's Lu Li? She asked the first thing she said. I don't know where he went, could he have gotten into trouble? He really didn't come. Pan Qi sneered. Let's go, he won't come. Tao Yuan had a bad feeling and pushed her hand away. What do you mean? How do you know he won't come? Don't ask, he won't come anyway, come with me. Chichi. Do you know something? Pan Qi bit her lip. I didn't want to tell you, but I don't want you to continue being deceived by him. Someone told me today that she saw Tao Yanran at the airport, she's back. Tao Yuan's ears buzzed, her face turned ashen and she staggered 2 steps. Tao Yanran, Tao Yanran. She had thought that this name would not hurt her and that she could face it calmly. But at this moment, it was like a sharp bayonet, piercing her heart. She had originally prepared to let them be, but Lu Li refused to divorce and kept seducing her, giving her the illusion that they could start over again. She naively thought that tonight might be a turning point, but it was impossible. Tao Yanran, did she purposely appear on this night that belonged to her? She wanted to snatch Lu Li back on this day and give her a ruthless blow. But she was the one who betrayed Lu Li first. Her eyes welled up with tears. Tao Yuan stood there helplessly, her hands clutching her skirt tightly. Are you okay? Pan Qi could not bear to ask. She had seen her trying to suppress her pain before, and that was a few years ago when she fell in love with that scum again. Yuan? Don't be like this, okay? Say something to me. That couple must be together now. Let's go, I'll take you to settle the score with them. She wanted to drag her away, but Tao Yuan stood there motionless. What can I do if I see them? Catch them back? I always knew that Lu Li loved her. He gave me hope, but he was lying to me just to humiliate me now. Maybe this was arranged by them together. The more Tao Yuan thought about it, the more she felt that they were working together. At this moment she felt stupid. She thought that he spent so much time and energy to make it up to her. But he just wanted to give her a beautiful dream, and the higher he threw her, the more painful it would be when she fell, and her bones would be smashed. She had a taste of this feeling. He had always treated her badly before, and she was used to the feeling of despair, so she slowly became numb and no longer hurt. And hope was the most terrifying thing. She had expectations for him, and then completely destroyed her hope, which was even more painful than before. He was really ruthless, so ruthless. Maybe he and Tao Yanran were in a corner of the venue, waiting to see her make a fool of herself, see her embarrassed, see her being laughed at by everyone. Lu Qingwan and Su Baihe also knew about it, and were looking at her with gloating eyes. This pair of vicious mother and daughter. The MC went on stage and announced excitedly, "Today is a good day. In addition to the hotel's anniversary, the Lu couple's wedding anniversary, and the most important thing is that the Lu couple wants to give Mrs. Lu a grand wedding. I believe that everyone has also noticed that our banquet venue is decorated like a wedding. Now let's welcome the sweet Lu couple." The light fell on Tao Yuan and everyone's eyes were focused on her. Hundreds of eyes were only looking at her. The white light was so bright that she could not open her eyes, and everything was white, almost making her faint. "Let's go," Pan Chi urged in a low voice. She felt embarrassed for her in such a situation. Tao Yuan closed her eyes. No, even if she was laughed at by them, she could not run away. One day she would return all the humiliation she had suffered today to them. She pushed Pan Chi's hand away and walked step by step to the stage. Every step was like stepping on thorns and her feet were dripping blood. But she had to bear such torture because she asked for it. If she did not suffer, she would not learn. Every step she took, every drop of blood she shed, was to remove the remaining feelings she had for Lu Li. She walked up the stage with her head held high. She thought she would be a princess tonight, but she was not. At this moment she wanted to be her own queen. Their mockery would not make her feel ashamed, but would only help her achieve nirvana. The wedding march was played. Tao Yuan straightened her body and walked on the gorgeous stage that was covered with pink roses. She was all alone. All the guests were stunned. Alone? What was going on? Since it looked like a wedding, where was the groom? All kinds of strange, suspicious, mocking and gloating gazes came from all directions, but Tao Yuan still held her head high and smiled. She was dressed in a dreamy long dress, beautiful and elegant. If there was another tall figure beside her, then she would be an enviable princess. But at this moment she was alone, but she still held her head high and was as strong as a queen. Su Baihe and Lu Qingwan were so excited that their eyes were shining. Lu Yanting's face was ashen and he could not sit still. Pan Chi's eyes were red. Tao Yuan was such a good girl and whoever married her was lucky. But why did she have to suffer so much? The music stopped and Tao Yuan walked to the front of the stage. She looked calmly in front of her and smiled. "First of all, I would like to welcome all the guests and colleagues to tonight's dinner. Everyone must be very confused. Since this is a wedding, where is the groom? But actually, this is not a wedding between me and my husband, but a wedding between me and the hotel. I have worked in Wilton since I was 22 years old. This year I am 25 years old. Wilton has been with me for the best 3 years. Here, my colleagues and clients are like my family, and my work is my family, my husband. Can be said that I married work. So, in the 3rd year, I want to take the opportunity of the hotel's annual party to hold a wedding for me in the hotel. Lincoln Group has been established for 58 years, and it cannot do without your help. I believe that with the joint efforts of this family, we will definitely bring better enjoyment to all the distinguished guests. Let us look forward to it together." She raised her glass and saluted confidently. From that slender body, a powerful and dazzling light was emitted. The yellow light was a little restless. "What would you like to drink?" Tao Yanran stood by the bar and asked gently. Her wavy hair made her look wild and flirtatious. In the past he always liked to call her little wild cat. The man's doting tone had lingered in her ears for many nights, making her miss him. Lu Li still had not recovered from the surprise of their encounter. His face was tense and he looked at her silently as if he did not believe that it was true. And Tao Yanran, who stirred up a storm in his chest, was calm and elegant like a fox. "The usual? Brandy?" Chapter 501. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm wondering if I've changed so much in the past few years that you can't recognize me, right? She poured the wine very slowly. As the wine slowly poured into the glass, it was as if it was poured into Lu Li's heart. Every movement of hers was so charming and natural, like a glass of strong wine. I just didn't expect you to come back so suddenly. Business trip. The hotel was booked by the company. I thought I would only be back for one night so I wouldn't have the chance to meet you. Is this fate? What should be met will still be met. I can't hide from it. Two almond-shaped eyes stared at him leisurely. She took a sip of the wine, leaving a scarlet lipstick mark on the glass, like a fiery flame. Lu Li swallowed his saliva subconsciously. I heard you just came back? How have you been recently? I don't think I've seen any news about you recently. Are you busy with work or dating? Lu Li didn't know how to answer and could only ask. What about you? Me? I'm still the same, working, dancing, very busy but very fulfilling. Occasionally I think of you and our past. Am I a fool? I'm sorry. That's all in the past. Why are you sorry? Even if someone let me down, it's not you. She lowered her head. Others could only see the corner of her mouth slightly curling up, but not the cold light that flashed in her eyes. Oh yes, the hotel is very lively today. Is there any important event? Lu Li then remembered and looked at his phone. It had been half an hour since the ceremony started. Tao Yuan alone. He had arranged for the ceremony to start. It was too late to rush over now. Moreover, he was not in the mood to do those things. He thought he had sorted it out, but the appearance of Tao Yanran disturbed the peace and stirred up 1,000 waves. He couldn't forget the past. The company's anniversary celebration. As the CEO, you can't be absent. Hurry up and go. Forget it, it's not important. Lu Li took a sip of wine, feeling upset. You're going back tomorrow? Yes. Why not stay for 2 more days? Are you reluctant to part with me? Tao Yanran winked at him mischievously. Every look in her eyes was naturally charming. Don't tell me that you still love me these past few years. Lu Li turned his head away, unwilling to face this problem. Yes, he still loved Tao Yanran. However, he had once given her a devastating blow. He could not pretend that nothing had happened and face her in the past. Since reconciliation was impossible, then what was the point of talking about love? It just made the situation more complicated. If you can't bear to part with me, I can stay a few more days for you. The two of them weren't sitting very far from each other. Tao Yanran leaned over and placed her arms on the armrest of the sofa. Her dangling fingers slowly rested on the back of her hand, as though she was hinting at something, but it wasn't that obvious. It was more like a vague ambiguity. Do you want me to stay? The blood in Lu Li's body flowed rapidly, crashing all over his body. His breathing became irregular and his chest rose and fell more intensely. He felt that he was on the verge of losing control and was about to lose control. As if escaping from something, he stood up. I'm going. Goodbye. Forcing himself not to look at her again, he quickly left the room. Tao Yanran didn't chase after him. She sat there leisurely enjoying the brandy. She had guessed right. This man still loved her deeply, otherwise he wouldn't have run away so quickly. Of course, she wouldn't be stupid enough to force him. Only by loosening the reins could a man be unable to stop himself. The corners of her mouth curved into a confident smirk. She would take him back the way she had lost him. Tao Yuan, let's wait and see. Lin Yuqing was looking for Lu Li all over the world. After a long walk, he returned to the office. Why aren't you answering the phone at this time? What happened? Everything on the desk was pushed to the ground and the floor was a mess. The man sat on the big office chair irritably, holding a cigarette. Why are you here? Lin Yuqing was startled. I just looked around, but you weren't in the office. Why did you come back? Why didn't you go to the annual party? Where did you go? Say something. Do you know how worried Tao Yu was about you? She thought you had an accident. You didn't go to the party on purpose to embarrass her, did you? If you do that, I'll look down on you. I'm talking to you. Do you hear me? What do you mean? What the hell happened? Say something. You're making me anxious. The finger holding the cigarette pinched between his eyebrows. With the smoke coming out of his nose, Lu Li's irritated voice sounded. Tao Yanran is back. What did you say? Tao Yanran? You saw her? You're not dreaming, are you? Or did you get the wrong person? It's her. I was with her just now. So you didn't go because of her? The complicated situation made Lin Yuqing frown as well. Damn. She didn't deliberately pick today to make trouble, did she? No, she doesn't know. She said she doesn't know? That woman has long become a demon. Only you think she is very simple. What were you doing together? If you don't say anything it means yes. Damn you and Tao Yuan at your wedding? Lin Yuqing paced back and forth like a trapped beast, feeling indignant. If they were not good brothers he would have beaten him up. I say, don't you think you've gone too far? I didn't. I only stayed for a while. I don't know how to face her. Lu Li was very irritated. His brain was in a mess and he couldn't think. So you plan to get back together with her? No. Then what are you thinking? Since you don't plan to get back together with her, you should go to the annual party as originally planned. You left Tao Yuan alone there. Have you considered her feelings? She will be laughed at. I'm not in the mood to think so much. As soon as I saw her, all those memories came back. I would think about how Tao Yuan hurt Yanran and how she broke us up. I thought I could not hate her, but I can't. Lu Li's eyes sharpened and he clenched his fingers. The veins on the back of his hand were bulging and the bones of his fingers were also trembling. I hate her. Tao Yuan knew that everyone present was laughing at her, but she still talked and laughed, dutifully fulfilling her responsibility as the hostess. All they saw was her elegant and beautiful figure, her gentle smile and graceful demeanor, as if she really didn't care. Even Pan Chi was almost confused by her, thinking that she really didn't feel pain. But could it really not hurt? She loved Lu Li for more than 10 years and Lu Li loved Tao Yanran. In his eyes, there was only Tao Yanran, and in his heart she, Tao Yuan, was a mean and vicious B***th, the culprit who destroyed his happiness. Later, when Tao Yanran left, she finally became his wife, but she didn't live the fairy tale life. Instead, what waited for her was endless humiliation and hurt. And today, at this moment that should have belonged to her, Tao Yanran snatched Lu Li away. This kind of love, from the beginning to the end, was torture, causing her to be covered with cuts and bruises. And she couldn't cry, couldn't show her aggrieved side, and still had to use that strong appearance to disguise herself. Pan Chi admitted that she couldn't be so great. She didn't even dare to think about how painful Tao Yuan's heart was. It was probably like a wound that hadn't healed yet was torn open by a hand, and the flesh was badly mutilated. And the person who hurt her was the person she loved the most. Her blood was only exchanged for more merciless mockery. She couldn't stand it anymore, walked to her side and snatched her glass. You've already drunk a lot tonight, don't drink anymore. Even if you force yourself to smile, you're only doing it for yourself. That B***th will still laugh at you in the dark. Who are you acting for by pretending to be strong? Who do you think you can move? It's just making you more miserable. Tao Yuan smiled gently. I'm not acting and I don't want to do it for anyone. Since I'm an employee here, this is just my job and I don't think too much about it. If you're referring to Lu Li, to me he's already dead. Dead in her heart. She took another glass of champagne from the waiter and continued to drink. She, who usually couldn't hold her liquor, drank a lot today and didn't get drunk, not even a little dizzy. It was probably to keep her sober and remember the feeling of this night. Yuan, if you still think of me as a good sister, leave me alone at least for tonight. Let me continue to finish what I have to do. Pan Chi couldn't help but be moved by that kind of gaze. She felt sorry for her, but she didn't know what to do to help her. In the end, she could only give up. Lu Yanting had been holding on until now, and his face was extremely ugly. When some of the guests had left, he couldn't take it anymore and punched the table. This bastard, I thought he had changed. I didn't expect him to go so far. He's a disgrace to me. Su Bai's expression was very interesting. Our son has been forced by you to marry her. Do you think you can always control him? No matter what, he shouldn't mess around on such an occasion and embarrass the Lu family. Isn't it because you insisted on holding a wedding anniversary? You're just shooting yourself in the foot. Lu Qingwan saw Tao Yuan coming over and couldn't wait to taunt her. I just reminded you that the greater the hope, the greater the disappointment. Am I right? You've made a fool of yourself this time, and even the Lu family has been embarrassed by you. You're a jinx. What do you mean by marrying him to work? Who do you think you can fool with that excuse? Do you think we're all 3-year-olds? Ridiculous. Tao Yuan looked at Lu Qingwan's hateful face in silence. She really looked like a monster bearing its fangs and claws. She was so ugly that even the 18 levels of hell couldn't contain her sins. Say something. Are you deaf or are you scared, silly? Weren't you quite eloquent just now? I don't know where this mad dog came from, but why should I care about it? Can a human be calculative with a dog? Tao Yuan sneered. You're calling me a mad dog? Look at yourself in the mirror. If you don't look like a mad dog, what do you look like? How dare you be so arrogant? My brother doesn't want you anymore. He's with Sister Yanran now. Lu Qingwan thought that this sentence would provoke Tao Yuan, but she didn't get angry. Instead she laughed. Is it fun to bring up such outdated news? You know? She laughed even more arrogantly. Chapter 502. Then please tell your great brother that if he wants a divorce I can sign it at any time. I want a divorce more urgently than he does. With that, Tao Yuan pushed Lu Qingwan away and left with her head held high. Lu Qingwan was annoyed to see her chatting freely with other people. It was obvious that she had already suffered a crushing defeat tonight. What right did she have to be so proud? It seemed that even if the sky fell she would not frown. But she would not stop until she knelt in front of her and begged for mercy. When the banquet ended, only Tao Yuan was left, sitting alone on the magnificent stage. The floor was full of roses and the fragrance was overflowing. She picked up a petal and smiled bitterly. All the strength in her body was completely drained the moment the banquet ended. She felt very tired and had a splitting headache. There was a sour feeling that kept fermenting and rising in her chest. Was that grievance? When was the last time she had such a feeling? 3 years ago or even earlier? She couldn't remember clearly. Hadn't she long lost the strength to feel sorry for herself? But why did she still feel so sad? Just last night, Luli was still in the living room of their house, hugging her, saying that she was so good and that he wanted to start over with her. But today he had already left her and thrown himself into the arms of Tao Yanran. It was so fast that it was like a dream, a joke of God. But it was not God who played with her, but him, Luli. He was really a master. She almost believed him. Did she hate him? She seemed to have lost the strength to hate someone. This feeling was probably called despair. Footsteps sounded. She looked up. It was a man, but it was not Luli. Was she still expecting it to be him? If it was him, what could she do? Stab him in the heart? Ouyang Shua strolled over and stopped in front of her. He extended his hand and applauded. That was a wonderful speech. I have never seen anyone who is so good at finding a way out of this embarrassing situation. Even a stranger was mocking her. So you are Mrs. Lu. It seems that it was really a misunderstanding before. I am sorry for treating you as a prostitute. He was apologizing, but there was no sincerity in his apology. Perhaps because his appearance was too feminine and evil, everything he said made people feel that he was up to no good. Tao Yuan really wanted to get rid of him. When she got up, she felt dizzy and her footsteps were unsteady. Be careful. He gave her a hand. It's none of your business. She pushed with her hand. He was already feeling dizzy, and the moment he exerted force, he swayed even more violently. He staggered 2 steps and fell to the ground. Pa! It wasn't particularly painful, but at that moment, a sour feeling stirred up in his nose, and he suddenly felt especially uncomfortable. TSK. You can't even stand properly. Why are you trying to be brave? Ouyang Shua squatted down and smirked. He reached out a hand and stopped in front of her, indicating that he was going to help her up. However, Tao Yuan slapped his hand away. Go away. I don't want your pity. You men are all the same. On a whim, you stretch out a hand, and when the woman takes the bait and thinks that she can rely on you, you pull your hand back and let her fall into the abyss, not caring about her life or death. I'm just going to help you up. Is it as serious as you say? Because you men are all the same. I don't need your hypocrisy. If you think that you can hurt me this time, you're wrong. I won't be hurt by people I don't care about, especially people like you. Tao Yuan tried very hard to get up, but her legs were still weak. After trying a few times, she angrily grabbed a wine bottle and threw it at him. Why do you have to bully me too? Don't tell me you treated me as your husband? What? He abandoned you and ran away with another woman? TSK. How pitiful. If it was me, I wouldn't have the heart to hurt a beauty like you. Ouyang Shua shook his head and sighed. His eyes were filled with tenderness. That pair of deep eyes was so tender that it could melt one's bones and make one's soul tremble. Are you willing to let them treat you like that? Of course I'm not. Tao Yuan shouted angrily. Then I have a way to help you take revenge on them. What is it? She looked at him seriously. That kind of urgent look in her eyes was as if she was grabbing onto the last straw of life, waiting to be freed. Since he betrayed me, then you can too. The light shone on Ouyang Shua's feminine face, creating a mysterious feeling. When his thin lips curled up, there was a dangerous aura that filled the air. He was like a mysterious and ruthless avenger. Tao Yuan was bewitched by that voice and gaze as she muttered absent-mindedly. I'll betray you too? He treated you like that, is it worth it for you to keep your chastity for him? That's so stupid. Men can play with women and women can also play with their feelings. His deep voice tempted her. That kind of charm was enough to make the kindest angel fall into the most vicious devil. A hand slowly cupped her face. His fingers tightened, and he felt that her delicate skin was about to melt under his fingertips. The feeling of bewitching a woman was so damn exciting, especially for a destroyer like Ouyang Shua. This made him feel excited. His body temperature rose and began to boil. His nose opened and closed, spraying out hot flames. Now only I can help you. Let me save you. The tip of his nose was close to hers, and the diffused breath was deeply intertwined, stimulating each other's nerves. As long as you become my woman, then I'll help you deal with him, and let him taste the feeling of living a life worse than death. There was only him left in her eyes, and she was completely bewitched by him. Ouyang Shua was very satisfied. No woman could escape his charm. Staring at those slightly trembling lips, he slowly kissed them. Pa! A slap landed hard on his face. Ouyang Shua thought that what was waiting for him was a lingering kiss, but he never thought that it was actually a slap. He was too confident in himself, so he was not prepared at all, and his entire person was stunned. After turning his face for a long time, he slowly accepted the fact that he was slapped. He was actually slapped by a woman? That slap probably used all of her strength. Even a man like him felt pain and his entire face was burning. He touched the corner of his mouth. It was swollen and there was a trace of blood in his mouth. That day when he forcefully kissed her, she also fiercely bit him until his mouth was full of blood. She was really a porcupine with thorns. You actually dare to hit me? This is already the second time you violated me, why wouldn't I dare? Do I deserve to be violated by you? Tao Yuan looked up and retorted. She had suffered a lot tonight and she was already holding back a stomach full of anger. Being bullied by a stranger like this, of course she could not take it lying down. She was not a soft persimmon that anyone could bully, and anyone could step on her. Now, if anyone dared to add fuel to the fire, she would fight to the death with that person. You hit me because I violated you, or are you taking it out on me? Do I look like a man that you can take it out on? Ouyang Shua's eyes were gloomy, and there was a hidden danger in them. He had always been the master of the game, and his gentleness was only limited to the game that he controlled. When the initiative was taken away, his cruel nature would be revealed. With one hand holding her face, his 5 fingers tightened, and almost violently pulled her in front of him. He was smiling, but that kind of smile was very terrifying, and it made one's hair stand on end. The cold fingers pricked Tao Yuan's skin, making her feel a trace of fear. However, she did not regret it and she would not give in to him. Woman, I admire your courage, but I also want to tell you that if you anger me, you can't bear the consequences. What do you want? Can you still kill me? I'm not afraid of you. Don't think that I'll let you play with me. Tao Yuan did not back down. Really? Then let's try. Ouyang Shua pressed down on her. Tao Yuan's entire body involuntarily trembled, and her heart beat violently. What are you doing? Go away. Aren't you not afraid? Didn't you say that I can't casually play with you? Don't you think it's too late to be afraid after slapping me? Let go. Tao Yuan twisted her wrist and struggled. Part of the reason why she dared to slap him was because of the alcohol. Now that the thick smell of smoke on his body had sobered her up, she began to realize the danger. There were only the two of them left here, and if he really wanted to do something to her, she would not be able to resist. Let go of me, do you hear me? She suppressed her fear, but her throat was trembling so much that it made her voice tremble. Let go. If you don't let go, I'll call for help. Let go of me. Ouyang Shua pressed down on her, pressing her onto the floor. Actually, he was not interested, but seeing her panicked and helpless look, he wanted to scare her even more, to see what she would look like when she was forced to collapse. Go away. Ouyang Shua. You bastard. What right do you have to bully me? I hate you. Her face turned red because of the intense struggle, but she still continued to twist her body and struggle. Let go. Ouyang Shua's face stopped in front of her, and his lips could kiss hers at any time. Tao Yuan held her breath and did not dare to move. His heart was already in his throat, hanging there. His entire person was panicking. Just when she thought that he would force a kiss on her again, Ouyang Shua's lips twitched. Apologize. Apologize to me. Why should I apologize? Tao Yuan's body trembled violently, but her expression was still very stubborn. What do you think? In all my years, you're the only woman who dares to slap me. His tone returned to being gentle, but in this kind of environment, even if it was gentle, it was a kind of almost abnormal gentleness. Who do you think you are? You violated me, so you deserve to be hit. The slap just now was a light one. I can sue you and put you in jail, you. She took in a breath of cold air because he came closer by another inch, and her eyes could only contain his eyes. It was as if they could take away her soul, deep and ghostly, and hit her heart hard. That instinctive fear of him came out from all parts of her body, like thousands of ants biting Tao Yuan's body, and her back was cold. This scene was familiar, and every pore of her had goosebumps. Why was she so afraid of him? Apologize. Ouyang Shua emphasized again. I won't apologize even if I die. Oh? Then I'll let you die the kind where you want to die. Chapter 503. Tao Yuan screamed and cursed. Bastard! Bastard! Let go of me. But her scolding seemed to have an aphrodisiac effect on Ouyang Shua. His movements became more intense. Tao Yuan kicked and kicked wildly, but it had no effect at all. She finally screamed uncontrollably. I apologize, I apologize. His movements stopped abruptly. Ouyang Shua looked at her with satisfaction, as if she was a well-behaved pet that he had trained. Can't you just apologize earlier? Or do you enjoy it when I do this to you? Feeling that he had loosened his grip on her, Tao Yuan broke free from him. She almost rolled and crawled to the side, her face full of shame and indignation. Why did you do this to me? If you want to play with women, go find someone else. I'm not someone you can afford to play with. If you want to play with me, I can afford to play with you. I just like to play with challenging women like you. No matter what Ouyang Shua said, he always had a scheming and malicious look on his face. Just now was just a small punishment. You have to remember, not every man can be slapped by you. You scum. Tao Yuan spat fiercely. Don't let me see you again, or else what? You look like you want to bite me? He stood up slowly, his movements were calm and elegant. At this moment he looked like an elegant gentleman. The suit made him look much more serious. Even if I really did something to you, what can you do to me? Who can you scare with your title of madam? Your husband doesn't want you anymore. Do you still expect him to seek justice for you? Don't be naive. Marriage is just a thin piece of paper. What's important is to have fun in the moment. And I can bring you extreme happiness. Tao Yuan scolded angrily. Are you crazy? For a woman as cultured as her, it was rare for her to be angered to this extent. However, trouble came one after another tonight. She really couldn't stand it anymore. Why did the whole world have to bully her? What did she do wrong? If you like this kind of game, go find other women. I'm not interested. Interest can be two-sided or it can be one-sided. Whether you're interested or not isn't the most important. Whether I'm interested or not is the most important. Do you understand? It's getting late. Shall I send you back? As soon as he took a step towards her, Tao Yuan took a few steps back. Don't come over, stay away from me. As if she was running for her life, she stumbled and ran. Ouyang Shua shook his head in distress. It seemed that he had really scared her. However, who told her to hit him? He touched his swollen right cheek, which was still burning with pain. That night, although she also hit him, he dodged and she only hit his chin. This time it was much harder than the last time. Very good, prey with thorns made him even more excited. Tao Yanran is dancing in the room alone. The man walks in with the room card in his hand. She glanced back at him. Did things go well? More troublesome than I thought. What's wrong? You young Master Ouyang also have times where you're beaten? Isn't Tao Yuan attracted by your charm? That woman has quite a character. She's not easy to deal with. Tao Yanran jumped all the way over. Like an elegant butterfly, she sat down opposite him and crossed her long white legs. Hey, what's wrong with your right cheek? Ouyang Shura frowned and turned his face away. This looks like a palm print, right? She actually hit you? Tao Yanran gloated and laughed. This is the first time you've been hit by a woman, right? No wonder your face looks so ugly. Is it funny? Ouyang Shua rolled his eyes at her. It seems that Tao Yuan, that little slut, is still so stubborn. Could it be that Ali made a fool of her in front of so many people tonight and she still hasn't given up? Well, that's right. She's been pestering him for more than 10 years. How could she give up so easily? Tao Yanran coldly narrowed her eyes. Is everything going well on your side? Of course Ali still loves me. He's always loved me these past few years. Saying that, Tao Yanran was proud and satisfied. Are you sure? He's played with a lot of women. That's just him taking revenge on Tao Yuan. No matter how many women he's slept with, I'm the only one he loves in his heart. You can tell from the way he looked at me just now. Ouyang Shua drank a mouthful of wine. What did you guys do? Of course not. If it's too easy, men won't cherish it. I just want to arouse his interest and make him unable to stop. He's still a bit resistant to me now. I have to take it slow. What's the rush? That's how the game should be played, isn't it? Tao Yinran was like a fox, cunning, beautiful, and strong. Once he became her prey, he couldn't escape. Everything is under my control. He can't escape from my palm. She tightened her fingers, looking like she was determined to win. You don't have to worry about me. You just need to take care of Tao Yuan. She's always been loyal to Ali. It's not that easy to make her change her mind. I say, why bother to get her heart? Can't you just force yourself on her like a few years ago? Will I use the same method twice? What's more, she's much more interesting now than before, and I like challenges. The harder it is to get, the more I have to get it. Tao Yinran sneered. Then you have to be careful, don't put yourself in danger. Tao Yuan couldn't remember how she got to Pan Chi's apartment. Anyway, when she woke up the next day, it was already noon. But it was still very uncomfortable. She had a splitting headache and her whole body was sore. It was no exaggeration to say that it was not much better than being run over by a tank. Her eyes were afraid of light. She could only squint. It hurt a little bit. Wake up, I just ordered takeout. Pan Chi walked in with 2 bags in her hands. She was a standard person who couldn't take care of herself. She had been spoiled since she was a child and had never been in the kitchen. The only skill she had was ordering takeout. She took out all the boxes in the bags. Kung Pao chicken, mapo tofu, spicy boiled fish, braised chicken wings, and stir-fried lotus root. It looked like a table of home-cooked dishes. You're in luck. This private restaurant is the latest one I discovered. It's delicious and usually they don't give it out. If it weren't for my beauty, their boss wouldn't make an exception and wouldn't charge for it. Look, this is the benefit of being beautiful. Tao Yuan's ears were buzzing. She held her head and frowned. Speak softly, my ears hurt. Can you still feel uncomfortable now? You were even more exaggerated last night. You kept ringing my doorbell in the middle of the night. I thought there was a fire. As soon as I opened the door, you directly fell to the ground. For the whole night, you vomited and had diarrhea. You were so noisy and almost tortured me to death. Only you can do this. If it were someone else, I would have kicked her out. You vomited so much last night. You must be hungry now. Let's eat. Pan Chi pushed the lunchbox in front of her. I have no appetite now. Looking at the bright red chili, Tao Yuan still felt nauseous. The food won't taste good when it's cold. I don't have a microwave at home. The goddess in the eyes of outsiders was now wearing a big pajamas and a messy bun on her head. She was wolfing down the food like a loser. Wow, it's delicious. It's so delicious. Tao Yuan furrowed her brows. My head hurts. Why don't you eat something first and then go back to sleep? You don't have to work today anyway. I need to go to class. I'll go in the afternoon. Damn, you still want to go to work in this condition? Although the media didn't expose the scandal last night, everyone in your hotel knows about it. They must be talking about you now. If you go, won't they laugh at you? You say it as if they won't laugh at me if I don't go. I'm afraid that if I don't go, they will think that I committed suicide or cried at home because I couldn't stand the blow. That will be even more embarrassing. Tao Yuan was very clear about their character. When it came to taking pleasure in someone else's misfortune, the bystanders would often show unprecedented unity. Well, since it's wrong no matter what, why do you have to suffer that kind of humiliation? It doesn't matter what they say behind your back as long as you don't hear it. You are not a pair of underpants. Why do you have to take their sh*t and p? Tell them to get lost. You care so much about other people's opinions. Aren't you tired of living? You misunderstood. I don't care about their opinions the least. I'm going for the salary. How much? I'll make it up to you. Pan Chi waved her hand generously. She didn't want to mention it today, but she couldn't help but ask when it came to this. If you still had a little fantasy about Luli before, now you've finally woken up, right? I've told you that he's ab*tc. He treats you well just to make you take the bait. Maybe this time he and Tao Yinran joined hands to humiliate you. I don't believe there's such a coincidence that Tao Yinran came back at this time. Does it matter whether it's true or not? I admit that his acting skills are superb. I was almost deceived by him. In fact, I should thank what happened last night for giving me a head-on blow. Otherwise, I would have really fallen into it. That's true. It's better to get the pain over with than to prolong it. It's better to get it over with now than to be sad later. So you've woken up? If I'm still not woken up, then there must be something wrong with my brain. You have something wrong with your brain, Pan, she said bluntly. Who in their right mind would love a scumbag to death? I'm telling you, this is the last time I help you. If there's a next time, even if you hang yourself for him, I only know how to use a rope. I know. I just hope that when Tao Yanran comes back, he'll divorce me. I think so. Even if he's not anxious, Tao Yanran must be anxious. I want to thank her. Thank her 8 generations of ancestors. That woman is not a good person. Look at her slutty face, as if she thinks that she's the most beautiful in the world. What's there to be proud of? It really proves the saying that bitches and dogs will last forever. I wish them happiness and don't bring harm to others. You have a sharp tongue. Tao Yuan smiled. But I like people like you who tell the truth. Hee hee. Of course. You used to be best friends with her. I don't know if you're blind. She's obviously using you as a foil. But fortunately, you repent in time and recognize who is worthy of your deep friendship. I really admire your taste in picking friends. Chapter 504. Tao Yuan felt warm in her heart. Although she had suffered an unhappy marriage, God was kind to her after all. Fang Yicheng, Pan Yi, these friends were really good to her. She was not lonely at all. After a simple lunch and a short rest, Tao Yuan took her medicine and went to work. In the big office, the female staff were in an uproar. Our model worker is not here today. Doesn't she come to work on time even if there is a storm? Last time I was 5 minutes late, she deducted my money. After that scandal last night, does she still have the face to come? If it were me, I would have committed suicide after being played by my husband. Suicide? Oh my God, do you think she will really commit suicide? How is that possible? It's not like you don't know that woman has a heart of stone. She is probably hiding somewhere and crying. Ah, this is retribution. I knew that the president would not like this kind of woman. Sure enough, he wanted to take revenge on her a long time ago. I like a man like the president. He is ruthless enough. He should not be soft-hearted to be *cheese. Finally, he has helped us vent our anger. Tao Yuan had always tried to think that they were young and insensible. However, like Lu Qingwan, some women were probably born with viciousness. It had been integrated into their flesh and blood since they were born. That was why they would say such things. Fortunately, she would be free from this place in 2 days. There were some people that she did not want to see again in this life. Seeing her come in, the staff glanced at each other and pretended to be concerned. Leader, are you okay? Why did you come to work today? I thought you couldn't take the blow and fell sick or hid at home to cry. We were going to see you together. She couldn't help but laugh while acting. Now you are the joke of the hotel. Why did you come to make people laugh? How miserable, how pitiful. What are you talking about? What blow? Tao Yuan looked like she did not understand. Don't pretend. It's about last night's dinner. The president made you look bad in front of so many people. The president is so bad. How much does he hate you to do that? You are talking about this. She seemed to remember. It's just the company's anniversary celebration, so it's normal that he doesn't have time to attend. A few years ago when he wasn't in the country, didn't it still go on? You guys are thinking too much. Tao Yuan said calmly. She was even smiling. That smile seemed indestructible, as if nothing could crush her. The few of them were depressed that they had failed to laugh at her. He knew that she was pretending, but why was she not angry or sad at all? Was this woman really heartless? Tao Yuan calmly walked into the office. Her head was still hurting and the painkillers didn't seem to have any effect, so she took 2 more. Actually, she really didn't care much about what others thought of her. It was just that she was too strong-willed and stubborn. She wouldn't allow herself to fall at such a moment. No matter what others thought, she, Tao Yuan, would never be defeated by these things. She gets up to pour a cup of coffee. As soon as she looks up, she sees Tao Yanran standing at the door. If it weren't for the natural charm of her body that was so dazzling that people couldn't ignore it, Tao Yuan would have thought that she was dreaming. Tao Yanran was still Tao Yanran. She was always so charming. When she was in college, the boys who chased after her could hold hands several times around the campus. She conquered them with her charm and played with them. She didn't accept or reject them, nor did she give them any promises. Like a butterfly, she enjoyed the men's infatuation for her. She was like a bright wild rose, delicate and beautiful, exuding a strong fragrance. After a few years, she, Tao Yanran, was still so beautiful. However, she, Tao Yuan, was no longer the kind and cowardly girl who was willing to be a foil to her. Even under such circumstances, there was no fluctuation in her eyes. Her eyes were indifferent, even cold, as if she was looking at a familiar stranger. "Long time no see," Tao Yuan said. Tao Yinran was a little surprised. She thought that she would take the initiative to say this, because she had always been in control of the situation, and Tao Yuan's performance should be that she was at a loss and didn't know what to do. However, looking at her clothes and that kind of temperament, she had already noticed the change in her. The timid little girl in the past had now transformed into a strong woman. No wonder she dared to slap Ouyang Shua. Of course, even so, she was no match for her. "Long time no see." Tao Yinran rolled her eyes and slightly raised her red lips. "How are you?" This greeting was with a sense of ridicule and mockery, even a little provocation. She knew that she was not good but deliberately exposed her scars. And she was not satisfied with just exposing scars. She wanted to sprinkle salt on the wound. In the face of Tao Yinran's provocation, Tao Yuan only felt that there must be something wrong with her brain to ask this question. She thought, how should I answer? That I am miserable? Not to mention that she did not think that she was miserable. Even if it was true, she would not make a fool of herself in front of Tao Yinran. Parents are healthy, work is good, and I have 2 or 3 bosom friends. It is not bad. She answered lightly. Oh, what about love? 4 years ago you took Luli away from me and married him. If everything went well, your children would be a few years old by now, but it seems that it is not the case. Although I have been abroad these years, I often hear some news about Ali. You know, those are the scandals. He seems to be far more interested in those women out there than he is in you. It seems that you are not favored as Mrs. Liu. Remember what I said when I left. Happiness cannot be taken away. Even if you take him away, don't try to take away his feelings for me. You spent 4 years of your youth to prove my words. Is it worth it? I can't help but sympathize with you. Don't tell me that you came back halfway around the world just to say this to me. Tao Yuan sneered. I came here on a business trip and happened to be staying in your hotel. I wanted to avoid you so that you would not feel threatened. I thought that I would not have the chance to meet in such a big hotel. But, who knew that it would be such a coincidence that we would meet again? This is called fate, don't you think? Tao Yinran raised the corner of her mouth, looking like a winner. At this moment, the flaming rose exuded an increasingly strong aura, full of wildness. It was a poison to men, but only women could smell the danger. This Tao Yinran had poisonous blood flowing in her bones. I was about to leave, but Ali still found me. You did not see his excited expression at that time, as if his whole world had come back to him. It gave me the feeling that he used to live a life of a walking dead, and it was I who brought him back to life. That is to say, when he was with you, his heart was dead, do you know? Tao Yinran took out a cigarette box and took out a thin and long lady's cigarette. She tilted her head and lit it up. She licked her lips lightly. That kind of arrogance was vividly reflected in her charming eyes. He went back to my room and then Tao Yinran flicked the cigarette ash, and her elegant orchid fingers also had a kind of beauty that could not be ignored. She blew a smoke ring into the air, which was faint and so beautiful that it made people gnash their teeth, as if she was still reminiscing. These are things that you will never be able to replace. Compared with Tao Yinran's aggressive beauty, Tao Yuan's performance was as indifferent as ever. Sorry, I have no interest in other people's lives. To be honest, you may not feel anything when you say it yourself, but this kind of conversation makes me feel very uncomfortable as a bystander. Bystander? You are not a bystander. After all, it is your husband, my ex, who is with me. You really don't feel anything at all? Tao Yinran knew that she was pretending. She loved Luli so much that her heart must be bleeding now. It was really pitiful. After 4 years, she only learned to pretend a little better than before, but she still had nothing, and it was a complete tragedy. Do you think it is still a few years ago? Tao Yuan smiled, and every detail from the corner of her eyes to the tip of her eyebrows showed that she did not care. If people have been living in the past, it is very sad. It has been 4 years. Maybe you and Luli are still the same, but I have long been the Tao Yuan of the past. If you expect me to be sad and cry, then you are really going to be disappointed. I have been a nominal couple for a few years and I am really tired. So this time you came back, I am very grateful to you and I can finally be free. I don't know if he told you when we were in bed, but I have been fighting for a divorce with him, but he did not agree. Oh, I have used all kinds of methods and I have talked until my mouth is broken, but he still refused to sign. His attitude was so firm as if he could not leave me, and I almost had the illusion that he fell in love with me. But hearing that you are so sure that he still loves you, I am finally relieved. You came to me because I still occupy the position of Mrs. Liu, right? No matter whether I am favored or not, in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of outsiders, I am the legitimate legal wife. If something happens between you in the eyes of others, you will be a betrayer, especially if you are old people, and you will be laughed at. It is rare that we have a common goal, so please persuade Luli to get a divorce as soon as possible. I don't want to delay you and I don't want to be dragged down by you. I have prepared the agreement and I just need him to sign it. Tao Yinran tried to find evidence of lying from her eyes, but she did not. Tao Yuan looked so calm and real and even a little tired of Luli. She was using her feelings for Luli to stimulate her, but if she did not love Luli, then such stimulation was equivalent to her singing a one-woman show, which was very ridiculous. The ash fell on Tao Yinran's fingers, and she flicked it away after a few seconds, calming her mind. You mean you want to divorce Ali but he doesn't? Tao Yuan, you must be dreaming, right? Have you forgotten how you pester him? I know you are not as free and easy as you say. I haven't seen you for 4 years, and you don't know what happened to me. How can you say that you know me? Always so confident, you will suffer. Tao Yuan pushed the ashtray in front of her. Chapter 505. After a few seconds of confrontation, Tao Yinran couldn't help but put out the cigarette. But as a provocation, she fiercely blew a smoke ring on Tao Yuan's face. The smoke was very pungent, but Tao Yuan didn't even squint her eyes. So what do you mean? You treat Ali as a toy? You were the one who snatched her away from me. Don't say it like that. If you didn't have a guilty conscience, who could take him away? Why did you leave him? Whose fault is it? You know it very well. I also remember it very clearly. Do you need me to repeat what happened that year? It's only you who will be embarrassed. You? Tao Yinran grits her teeth. Even so, it's between me and him. It's not your turn to be a defender. You're just taking advantage of this opportunity to snatch him away from my hands. Do you dare to say that you have no selfishness? Everyone has selfishness. I didn't say anything about you. Why are you so anxious? It's said that people who are not in the same family don't marry into the same family. Now think about it, you and Luli are quite similar in many ways. You two love each other, and it can be regarded as getting rid of evil for society. I'm very willing to help you. Tao Yinran thought that she would make Tao Yuan cry, but it turned out that she was defeated. Her charming smile also became a little stiff. Now Tao Yuan dared to compete with her. There seemed to be a strong light in her body. Even she couldn't be underestimated. Really, now who can save me from the grave of marriage? I will thank her very much. I wish you get married soon and I can be free soon. Oh, why are you so anxious? Ali and I will definitely be together. A few years ago he was not moved by you, and a few years later he still won't be moved by you. Tao Yinran said firmly. Tao Yuan, you will never be able to defeat me. Tao Yinran left. Tao Yuan sat there and thought about a lot of things. Now that she thought about it, what Pan Chi said was right. The reason why the popular Tao Yinran chose an ordinary girl like her as a friend was that she needed someone to be her foil and help her do things. In sharp contrast to her beautiful appearance, her selfishness is very strong. She had always been self-centered. Everyone else was just a tool that she used and toyed with. If Tao Yinran could betray Luli 4 years ago, she could do the same in the future. Tao Yuan had the urge to make this their wedding gift, but it would be too easy for them. She was now looking forward to the wonderful expression on Lu Li's face when he was betrayed for the second time. Before she got off work, Tao Yuan received a call from Lu Yanting and returned to the Lu family. The car drove into the garden. Just as she was lost in thought, a car overtook her. If she hadn't stepped on the brakes in time, she would have crashed into it. Lu Li got out of the car. He didn't even look at her and walked into the villa. Tao Yuan had a very absurd feeling. Regarding the matter last night, it was fine that he didn't even give a word of explanation, but now he was actually provoking her on purpose? For a moment, she really couldn't connect him with the gentle and fragile man that night when he was drunk. Life was really like a drama. It all depended on acting skills. His acting skills were really good. Was this his true face? She couldn't live like this for another day. She had to get a divorce. As soon as Tao Yuan entered the villa, she saw Lu Yanting slap Lu Li and scold him for being a bastard. Tao Yuan was stunned. There had always been a gap between the father and son. Lu Yanting was often angered by Lu Li's scandals, but this was the first time he hit him. That slap was so loud that she could hear it clearly from a few meters away. But she couldn't sympathize with him at all. Instead, she felt that someone had helped her vent her anger. It was a very satisfying feeling. Every pore on her body was indescribably comfortable. She didn't even realize that the corners of her mouth were curled up. This was the happiest thing that happened today. Lu Li's face was forced to turn to face her. He looked up and stared at her with a cold gaze. She returned a happy smile. So gloating over someone else's misfortune was such a great thing. After Su Baihe recovered, she screamed and pushed Lu Yanting away. She hugged Lu Li, feeling distressed and angry. Why did you hit my son? I don't have such an unfilial son. Yes, he's not your son and you don't have a wife like me. Su Baihe's eyes were red with anger. She pointed at Tao Yuan and scolded. Only she is your darling. Other than her, who else can you have in your heart? I've never seen someone treat their own family like this for an outsider. What drug did she give you? Or did you sleep with her? Do you know what you're talking about? Lu Yanting was infuriated. How dare you say something like this? You're so ruthless. Are you afraid that I'll say it? Am I wrong? You only have her in your heart. You don't even care about us. For her, you even hit your son. Are you going to chase the three of us out before you're satisfied? I hit him because what he did brought shame to the Lu family. He was the one who suggested the wedding anniversary. No one forced him. Since he said it, he had to do it. He beat around the bush just to embarrass Yuan Yuan. Is he still a man to treat his wife like this? He deserves to be taught a lesson. Dad, you've misunderstood. Lu Qingwan stood beside the mother and son. She blurted out in a moment of anger. Brother didn't attend the dinner because Sister Yanran is back. Tao Yanran? Lu Yanting's body trembled violently as his brows furrowed. What are you talking about? Sister Yanran is back. Brother must be with her. Right, brother? You already knew? So it was the three of you. You're so evil. Lu Yanting trembled with anger. How are we evil? Brother never liked Tao Yuan. You forced him to marry her. You even forced Sister Yanran away. Brother and Sister Yanran are so close. Don't you think you're evil when you broke them up? These few years, brother was forced to go abroad by Tao Yuan. He didn't even return home. Do you still expect them to be together? Now that Sister Yanran is back, they should get back together. Shut up. I'm telling the truth. Why should I shut up? I don't know what kind of spell Tao Yuan cast on you. But it's really selfish of you to break up a pair of lovers. Brother and Sister Yanran have suffered a lot. Why can't you give them what they want? Do you want to force them to death? Lu Yanting raised his hand and rushed towards Lu Qingwan. But Su Baihe was like a mother hen protecting her chicks. She opened her arms and blocked him. If you want to hit me, hit me. Don't hit my daughter. Kill us. No one will go against you if you kill us. Tao Yuan watched silently. She really wanted to take this opportunity to ask for a divorce. But Lu Yanting was already very angry. She didn't want to add fuel to the fire. Otherwise he might have a heart attack. She walked over and looked at the mother and daughter who wanted to tear her apart. She believed in her. If a curse could really make people go to hell, then the mother and daughter would go to hell before her. You came at the right time. Lu Li, you have to give her an explanation. Lu Li pursed his lips. His emotions were complicated. His face was gloomy. Dad, don't be angry. I don't need an explanation. My relationship with Ali has always been like this. I never thought that he would show up that day. I don't care if it was because of Tao Yanran or someone else. I don't want to pursue the reason. I really don't care. This matter hasn't been exposed by the media. Only the company knows about it. It won't have any negative impact. Let's just forget about it. Don't pretend to be kind. Lu Qingwan wanted to kill her with her eyes. She hated her most when she pretended to be magnanimous in front of Lu Yanting. She said one thing and did another behind her back. Would a magnanimous woman pour hot milk on her face? You say that you don't care, but you actually hate me to death, right? You are so vengeful. What are you going to do behind my back? No matter how vengeful I am, it's because I care. That's why I want to take revenge. Since I don't care, why would I take revenge? I'm busy enough with work. I really don't have that much time to deal with these messy things. Tao Yuan's eyes were clear and her tone was light. Every word and punctuation showed that she didn't care. Moreover, it didn't seem like she was putting on a brave front or pretending at all. Even Lu Li couldn't tell whether her words were sincere or not. He didn't like the feeling of not being able to grasp her. The smell of gunpowder in the living room was still very strong. You don't care? You don't care, but you still occupy the position of Mrs. Lu and keep pestering my brother? You're just saying it. You're the greediest one. I'll let it go before, but now that Sister Yanran is back, get lost. Don't get in their way. Who are you to say such things to me? If you don't know how to talk, don't talk nonsense. Otherwise, what's the difference between you and a mad dog? You're scolding me again, you be asterisk teach. Lu Qingwan rushed over and wanted to hit her but was stopped by a hand. Her eyes widened in surprise. Brother? Why are you stopping me? Have you had enough? I'm helping you. Don't you want to get back together with Sister Yanran? That's my business. Don't meddle in it. Lu Li flung her away. His face was pale and he looked gloomy. Tao Yuan looked at her watch. It's almost time for dinner. I'll go up and change. She didn't care what others thought of her and left. The moment she entered the bedroom, she saw the wedding photo on the wall. She had put it on the floor, but that night Lu Li went crazy and insisted on hanging it up. What was the point? This wedding photo was photoshopped. Now that it was hanging there, it was a big sarcasm. It was very glaring. She put down her bag and took out a set of home clothes from the closet. She had just changed when Lu Li came in and made a lot of noise. She looked at him calmly. Actually, before she came home today, she hated him. But when she was face to face with him, she didn't feel that strongly. She probably knew that no matter how much she cried or argued, there would be no result, so she didn't waste her energy. When you don't care, you really don't care that much. Without waiting for him to speak, she walked over and took out a divorce agreement from her bag and handed it to him. Chapter 506. Lu Li's eyes were stung by those words. Divorce agreement. Did she come home just to give him this? He gritted his teeth and resisted the urge to tear her apart. Who told you that I want a divorce? Is there a need to make this clear? Besides, your sister has already said what needs to be said. We have talked about the divorce before. Now that Tao Yanran is back, this marriage must be divorced. I don't want to delay you, and at the same time, I don't want to be delayed by you. I have been Mrs. Lu in name for 4 years, and I am really a little tired of it. It's good for everyone to part on good terms. *CKU. Let's part on good terms. Lu Li threw the divorce agreement directly on Tao Yuan's face. With a slap, her face turned red. A few pieces of paper fell apart and fell at her feet. Tao Yuan felt that this barbaric man was too annoying. She really didn't know what she liked about him in the first place. The more uncomfortable she felt, the more indifference she showed. She was like a cactus in the desert, full of thorns. People are alive and the agreement is dead. Why do you vent your anger on it? She squatted down, picked them up, and arranged them one by one. Haven't you been waiting for this moment? Sign it. Do you want a divorce that much? Don't you want it? You beat around the bush, and together with Tao Yanran and your family, you gave me a slap. Even if you want to vent your anger, it should be enough, right? What else do you want? Originally, Tao Yuan didn't want to say these things, but he was really too much. As the victim, she didn't say anything, and he, the executioner, actually looked like he wanted to ask for an explanation from her. A thief crying thief. Didn't he think it was ridiculous? Did he think that he could ride on her neck and do whatever he wanted because she chose to swallow her anger? When did I give you a slap? Do you need to ask? Maybe you think that I can be schemed against by you, but I am not as stupid as you think. Did Tao Yanran come back by chance? Long before the banquet, you and Lu Qingwan knew that she was back, but you didn't do anything. Weren't you waiting for the banquet to embarrass me? I've always found it strange. You used to feel disgusted even by looking at me, so why did you suddenly change your ways and pester me, your wife who has gone through thick and thin with you? At first, I thought that maybe you were unwilling to see me with another man, but now that I think about it, it's not just that. You just want me to fall in love with you again and then humiliate me at the banquet, is that it? Tao Yuan thought that her words were harmless, but in fact, it stirred up waves in her heart. The human heart was made of flesh. After all, she was not a robot. It was impossible for her not to feel anything when she was being schemed against. She just didn't want him to succeed, so she tried her best to pretend that it didn't matter. She didn't get angry, didn't make a fuss, and didn't hate him. Lu Li didn't know how to answer. Should he tell her that he really wanted to start over with her? Tell her that he didn't know why Tao Yanran suddenly came back? Tell her that he had never thought of getting back together with Tao Yanran? In her eyes, he was already a heinous devil. What else did he have to say? And the appearance of Tao Yanran also made him realize that as long as the hatred in the past was still there, he couldn't pretend that nothing had happened and start over with her again. In this case, it was better to let them hate each other and love each other to their heart's content. The room was filled with the smell of gunpowder. Although the two didn't make a big fuss, the situation was very tense. Lu Li was silent for a long time, feeling upset. Since the situation was already like this, he might as well make it more thorough and make her hate him. That's right, I planned all of this. He said it without meaning it. His expression was as cruel as his words. I just wanted to embarrass you and humiliate you. He actually admitted it himself. This was a big blow to Tao Yuan. Perhaps she was the kind of person who wouldn't shed a tear until she saw the coffin. She clearly knew what was going on, but she still lied to herself and hoped that it wasn't like this. But now he had completely destroyed that trace of hope that shouldn't exist. A pail of ice water was poured on her head. She couldn't deny it even if she wanted to. Then do you think that you've achieved your goal? She replied with an indifferent smile. Do you want to make me sad or embarrass me more? If it's the latter, perhaps you've achieved your goal. But the former, I'm sorry, can't let you get what you want. I didn't believe a single word of those sweet nothings that you said to me and those illusions that you created for me. I also wanted to lie to you and say that I'm very sad. Maybe then you'll get a quick divorce. But I'm not as good at acting as you are. I really can't act that kind of bitter drama where I cry my heart out and complain about your cruelty. I can't even squeeze out a single tear. It's embarrassing enough that things have developed to this point. If we continue to drag it on, what's the point other than to hate each other more? You're tired too. It's better to get a quick divorce. Do you still need to teach me how to do it? I won't get a divorce no matter how many times you say it. Is there something wrong with your brain? Tao Yuan was also impatient. She couldn't bear it anymore and both her eyebrows were knitted together. She really couldn't think of any other explanation except that he was sick. What's the use of dragging it on like this? Don't you think that you're very selfish? You can afford to drag it on, but can Tao Yanran afford to wait? Doesn't she really want the position of Mrs. Liu? Can't I give it to her now? You don't deserve to mention her name. You still have the cheek to use her as an excuse. Don't forget that you were the one who killed her child. This was the hurdle in Lu Li's heart that he could never get over. This was what he hated most about Tao Yuan. Love could turn a woman into a devil. He could understand why she wanted to deal with Tao Yanran. However, even a man like him knew that the child was innocent. She was also going to be a mother in the future. How could she be so cruel? Tao Yuan just wanted to laugh. What he said was right. The child was Tao Yanran's, but it had nothing to do with him, Lu Li. She didn't say it before because she didn't want the person she loved to be sad. But she didn't say it now because it was easier to change a leopard than a leopard. If she, Tao Yanran, could make him a cuckold once, there would be a second time. She was waiting to see him become a cheap father to another man. In this matter, she had no conscience, so her back was still straight and her chin was raised. It's all in the past. You've scolded and taken revenge. What's the point of holding on to it now? Do you still want me to compensate her with my life? Lu Li clenched his fists and was about to slap her. How could she say such things with such confidence after killing a person? Lu Li clenched his fist and was about to slap her. Tao Yuan calmly looked at his cramped palm without fear. What? Do you still want to hit me? If you want to hit me, then hit me. Don't hold back. Anyway, it's not like you haven't slapped me before. If you want to hit me, be quick. Hit my face and hit me hard. She turned one side of her face to him. If this slap can be exchanged for a divorce agreement, then it's worth it. Lu Li's heart felt as if it had been hit hard, and he didn't feel good at the moment. She used such a calm attitude to fight against him, without any pity for an innocent life. It was as if she didn't kill a child but was worse than a pet. After spending a month together, she gradually changed his view of her. He saw her vulnerability, her stubbornness, her intelligence and kindness. So, he forgot her nature and why he hated her to the bone. This strong contrast made him feel angry and disappointed in her. You're a bitch with a venomous heart. He cursed angrily. In order to resist the urge to slap her, his whole body was trembling. And for Tao Yuan, when a person's heart was disheartened to the point of numbness, she would not feel disappointed or hurt. The only feeling she felt was mockery. She actually sympathized with Lu Li. The once popular male god, the business legend of the Asia-Pacific region, Lu Li actually fell into the hands of Tao Yanran, that vixen. He was the most pitiful one. A venomous heart is better than a glass heart. What do you want me to say? You want me to repent to him? You want me to cry? Sorry, I can't even pity myself. How can I have so much time to pity others? You don't want to hit me? You can't bear to do it, can you? Hitting you will dirty my hands. Then the divorce agreement? Don't mention the divorce agreement to me again. Lu Li slapped it away. Tao Yuan wanted to pick it up, but he was faster than her. The hand that had just clenched into a fist grabbed her wrist and dragged her to him. She lost her balance in her stiletto high heels and sprained her ankle. The pain made her face pale. But she gritted her teeth and did not cry out in pain. She fell into his arms awkwardly, but she was still unyielding and asked with a hint of anger. I've told you more than 10 times that I hate your rude behavior. I'm not an object that you can do whatever you want with me. No matter how successful a man is in his career, if he behaves like a barbarian, he will still be looked down upon. Your manners are not even comparable to a primary school student. I suggest you reincarnate. The breath on her face was getting hotter and hotter. It was obvious that she had really angered him. But Tao Yuan felt very happy. There should be a limit to her tolerance. She did not want to make a scene, but it did not mean that she could not fight back. But your mother's manners are just so-so. Even if you go back to the furnace and remake 100 times, it should be the same. This logic is also applicable to your sister. This damn woman, how dare she humiliate his family? Couldn't she see that he had a hard time tolerating it? Provoking him again and again, he was deliberately seeking death, wasn't he? Lu Li clenched his fingers and felt her pulse beating rapidly. She could also be afraid? Her slender wrist seemed like it would break if he squeezed it. She was essentially a weak little woman. Where did her arrogance and courage come from? How dare she go against him? Let go of me, let go. Chapter 507. There should be a limit to your madness, right? Now that Tao Yanran is back, I'm willing to fulfill your wish. What else do you want? She almost screamed. Does Tao Yanran know that you're pestering me like this? Could it be that you've fallen in love with me? I love you? Lu Li sneered. The hatred in his eyes was as glaring as a poisonous glint. How could I love such a vicious woman like you? Yes, I'm vicious. I separated you and Tao Yanran, and I even killed her child. You should hate women like me to the core, right? Isn't it torture for you if I stay by your side? It's because you're sinful, so I can't just let you go. Lu Li's tone became even colder. When he let go of her, he held her right cheek with one hand, forcing her to raise her head and meet his furious eyes. You're finding so many excuses. In the end, aren't they all for yourself? What do you mean Yanran can't wait? You're afraid that Fang Yicheng can't wait, right? Or there are other men that I don't know. Anyway, you have so many dogs wagging their tails and begging by your side. Who knows which one it is? Do you want to be grateful to get rid of me and be with them? When a person is angry, what they say and what they really think in their heart are often the opposite of what they really think. Other than these, Lu Li couldn't think of any other words to humiliate her. However, he was very clear that she was now a charming woman with too many suitors. If they divorced today, tomorrow she might get married to another man that he didn't even know. Thinking of this, he couldn't bear it at all. That's right. It's good for everyone, isn't it? After the divorce, why do you care who I'm with? Hee hee. Do you think it's that easy? If you make me feel bad, will I make you feel better? Lu Li said in that almost perversely gentle tone. That gentleness made her whole body tremble. Every pore in her body was filled with an extremely uncomfortable feeling. Tao Yuan originally thought that as soon as Tao Yanran came back, the divorce would be settled. She even hoped that he could sign it today. She didn't expect that his attitude on this matter was still so stubborn. I'm not having a good time, but Tao Yanran is having a worse time. She came to see me today and asked me to give up the position of Mrs. Lu. She is already so impatient, how can you bear to let her wait? Don't you feel heartache for making your darling suffer like this? My heart hurts, but if I let you go like this, my heart will hurt even more. If you keep being so unreasonable, we'll see you in court. What's in it for you to go to court with me? Let's not talk about whether my dad will have a heart attack because of you. Your greedy and snobbish father will probably sever ties with you first, right? He leaned down and breathed dangerously close to her ear. Even if you don't care about anything and go to court, what do you think the chances of you winning are? You know that the final result is that you will lose, but you don't dare at all. How dare you scare me here? How stupid and ridiculous. If you want to play threats, you should first weigh yourself and your opponent's strength. This is a battle that you will definitely lose. I advise you not to let yourself be defeated. Tao Yuan couldn't stay in the Lu family anymore. She was afraid that Lu Li would pester her, so she didn't dare to go back to the apartment. She could only go to Pan Chi's house to stay. Later, when she thought about it, she felt it was quite ridiculous. Lu Li already had Tao Yanran. They didn't have enough time to be lovey-dovey. How could he have the time to pester her? The next weekend, Tao Yuan slept until noon. Pan Chi just got the takeout and was clearing the table. What do you want to eat? Tao Yuan asked. Last night, she left in a hurry after eating half a bowl of rice at the Lu family. She slept until now and her stomach was growling. Same old, private home cuisine. Pan Chi opened the boxes one by one. There were 4 dishes and 1 soup, and the aroma filled the air. Shredded sweet potatoes, steamed pigeon, eggplant stew, twice-cooked pork, duck soup. This is a good combination. Didn't you order it yourself? No, the chef carefully prepares it for me every day and delivers it on time. I don't even need to call for takeout. Pan Chi was proud of herself with an expression that said, I rely on my face to make a living. No wonder you look fat. It turns out that you have a man to support you. Tao Yuan teased. That boss is quite attentive to you. Won't you consider him? Of course not. I'm a goddess with principles. I won't consider anyone who doesn't have a net worth of 10 billion. If I have to date him after eating a few bowls of white rice from him, I would have 7 or 8 children by now. Tao Yuan shook her head. Don't you know that you have a soft tongue when you eat from others? How can you be so at ease when you obviously don't like him? Come on, this is clearly a good thing for both sides. He's happy that he has the opportunity to prepare lunch for a great beauty like me, okay? As for me, apart from satisfying my appetite, it also feels good to be pursued by someone. Pan Chi expressed her theory eloquently. They say that single dogs are pitiful and that they envy couples, but I think it's good to be single. Women all need the feeling of being pursued by a man and being held in the palm of their hands. Do you know that the most wonderful feeling between a man and a woman is the ambiguous stage? Eating, shopping, watching movies, and feeling happy just thinking about the other party. You can't wait to be with him 24 hours a day, and your heart palpitates. Those are the feelings that married people have not felt for a long time. Poor you. You didn't even get to enjoy the sweetness of being passionately in love at all before being dragged into the grave of marriage. So, you need to get a divorce as soon as possible and enjoy the feeling of being pursued by a man. Then you can pick the one you like the most and have a passionate love. Believe me, that feeling is definitely like a rebirth. Women need the nourishment of love to become more and more beautiful. How could Tao Yuan not understand this logic? She would also be very envious when she saw the sweet scene of a couple. This marriage had indeed dragged on for too many years. She didn't enjoy any happiness at all. Instead, her energy was drained, and she ended up being mentally and physically exhausted. It was really time to end this tragedy and start a new life. Divorce was the first step of her new life. After lunch, the two of them went to do something that two women had to do when they were together: shopping. Tao Yuan usually dressed in a low-key manner, but she was also a woman who loved to be beautiful. She wouldn't allow herself to be sloppy just because of the failure of her marriage. She would rather be the butterfly that Luli talked about than become a faded old woman. Her clothes were simple, but they were all carefully worn, so it gave people a feeling that it was simple yet elegant and exquisite. At first glance, it looked decent, but after careful study, every part of it was carefully chosen. She was usually busy at work and didn't have time to go shopping, so she would also buy some European and American brands online. After all, she was at the level of a manager, and her clothes were all of medium to high quality. But Pan Chi was much more extravagant than her, and she always shopped in famous brands. Tao Yuan followed her and also bought a few very expensive dresses. The feeling of buying luxury goods was indeed very good. When paying, Pan Chi asked, "Are you using your own salary card?" "What else? Are you stupid?" "Of course I'm using that bastard Lu Li's card. He can't be so stingy that he didn't even give you a card, right?" Tao Yuan thought for a moment and took out a credit card. "This was given to me by my father-in-law. The main card is with Lu Li, but I have never used it." "That's it." Pan Chi grabbed it and rushed over excitedly. "I'm going to buy it today." "No, I don't want to use his money." "Oh please, who are you trying to show off?" Pan Chi rolled her eyes. "You don't have to. That little bitch Tao Yanran will help you. She won't feel bad about it. The stupidest person is a wife like you who spends your own money and then saves it for others. Think about it, you have been married for so many years and what have you got? Is your youth so worthless? If you don't buy it, I will despise you." Tao Yuan felt that it made sense. She felt bad about Lu Li's money, but did Lu Li feel bad about her? Just think of it as compensation for mental damage. "You are right, I won't buy it. What else do you want? Just take it, I will pay." In the CEO's office, Lu Li's phone vibrated twice, and a message from the bank came in, saying that his secondary card had spent more than 200,000 yuan. Secondary card. Wasn't it in Tao Yuan's hands? This was the first time she had used his card. Was that woman taking revenge on him? But she wanted to make him feel bad about this little money? Was she insulting him? The corner of his mouth twitched, and he put the phone back into his trouser pocket to continue the meeting. The two women happily left the luxury store with their shopping bags. Compared to buying a dress that she liked, Tao Yuan was more happy that she could make trouble for Lu Li. Although this amount of money was not enough to make him feel bad, it was equivalent to declaring war on him. A large group of people gathered by the roadside, and Pan Chi loved to watch the fun, so she dragged Tao Yuan into the crowd. A woman in her 30s was pulling a young girl's hair, scolding her as a mistress, a vixen, and her husband was anxiously protecting the mistress. A smashed car was parked next to them. Oh, it's the original wife against the mistress again. Why is this happening so often recently? The original wife was scolding and shouting, and her eyes were red from crying. Tao Yuan was quite upset. In a relationship, it was often the woman who was hurt. The most hateful thing was that the man was still protecting the mistress. Didn't he think about who had gone through thick and thin with him? If I were his wife, I would think of other ways to kill this adulterous couple. Isn't it embarrassing to make such a scene on the street? Tao Yuan smiled bitterly. You haven't loved before, so you don't understand. If it's not extremely painful, who would be willing to shout and make such a scene on the street? Then, do you see a little bit of your future in her? Have you ever thought about how you would react when you see Lu Li and Tao Yanran together? What kind of reaction can I have? They are both dead people in my heart now. You're just stubborn. Not to mention that you still love him. Even if you don't love him anymore, you will still be angry when facing two people who have hurt you. Don't you have the impulse to kill Tao Yanran the moment you see her? Tao Yuan thought about it and realized that she really did. Yesterday, when Tao Yanran came to the office to show off to her, there was a moment or two in her mind where she grabbed her hair and slapped her hard. With her current strength, if she did that, Tao Yanran would not be able to resist at all. She could only cry for her parents. She was not a violent person, but most of the time violence would indeed bring people the simplest and most direct feeling of violence. Thinking of the scene of Tao Yanran crying for mercy, Tao Yuan couldn't help laughing. After a while, when she came back to reality, the three of them were taken away by the police. Tao Yuan told herself in her heart that she would never let herself become a tragedy like this woman. She wanted a divorce. Chapter 508. After a whole afternoon of shopping, the two of them went to a cafe to rest. Tao Yuan received a call from Xin Xinhui. Daughter, are you in the hotel? No, I am shopping with Pan Chi. Oh, why are you free today? Have you eaten? Don't eat out all the time. It's unhygienic. It seems that the temperature will drop again these days. Wear more clothes. Xin Xinhui nagged, which warmed Tao Yuan's heart. The people who cared about her most were always her family. And the one who nagged her was always her mother. I know you too. Are you with Ali? Tao Yuanxing's voice suddenly interrupted, and the first question was about Lu Li. Such a question was straightforward and purposeful, which made Tao Yuan a little uncomfortable. No, I am with a friend. I haven't seen him for a long time. Ask him to come over for dinner. No, he is very busy these days. Busy with what? Why hasn't the View Villa project been approved yet? Did you make him unhappy again? Tao Yuan bit the straw and muttered unhappily. I don't have that ability. You have such a bad temper. No wonder he doesn't like you. Men all like gentle women. Do you understand? Ask him to come over for dinner tonight. I can't invite him. You can call him yourself. Do you think I haven't called him? His secretary always says that he's busy and doesn't have time. He must be deliberately not wanting to see me. Did you offend him again? The more Tao Yuan listened, the angrier she became. What did he mean by offending him? Weren't they equal? Why did he treat her as if she was inferior and had to please him like a slave? Was he selling his daughter or marrying her? She had been worried about Tao Yuanxing's feelings, so she didn't mention the divorce. However, he regarded her as a commodity, so why should she care too much about the seller's feelings? Tao Yuan made up her mind. I will go home for dinner tonight. Just me. Ali won't come back? You call him again and ask him. Even if he didn't have the time, he should at least inquire about the progress of the project. What was the point of dragging it on like this? If I don't approve it one day, I won't feel at ease. Got it? Let Mom answer the phone. After Xin Xinhui answered, Tao Yuan's tone softened a lot. She said that she was about to leave and would be home at 6 o'clock. Xin Xinhui was very happy to hear that and kept saying that she wanted to make bird's nest stew. Tao Yuan found a trace of warmth. The divorce could not be delayed any longer. No matter what, he had to speak tonight. The Tao family. Xin Xinhui prepared a sumptuous dinner and kept putting food in Tao Yuan's bowl. It was rare for her daughter to come back. Her eyes narrowed into a smile. More. Hey Mom, don't take any more. The bowl is full. If you want to eat, I can take it myself. Tao Yuan was touched and helpless at the same time. You're busy with work. Every time I call you, you're eating takeout. Those things outside were not nutritious and not clean. They were not good for the body. It's rare for you to come back, so eat more. But I can't eat until I'm fat and make up for the previous months. I say you might as well come back and stay for a while. You've lost a lot of weight. I'll take good care of you. Tao Yuanxing complained discontentedly. It's already outrageous for her to live in the Lu family. How can people say that she is still living in her mother's house after getting married? They'll think that she was driven back. How can I put my face? Don't I care about my daughter? How can she be so thin? Xin Xinhui spoke softly and very gently. No one asked her to work so hard. I think it's better for her to resign and go home. She should hurry up and have a child so that she can sit firmly in the position of Mrs. Lu. If she doesn't have a child soon, there will be other women competing to give birth to Ali. At that time they will take the child and force you to abdicate. Let's see what you can do then. From the tone of Tao Yuanxing, it was as if he could not wait for Tao Yuan to have a child now. Didn't we agree not to mention this? Xin Xinhui frowned. I get angry just by looking at her. If she could please Ali, the project of Scenic View Villa would not have been approved until now. She must have quarreled with Ali again. You call him now and ask him to come over for dinner. Tao Yuanxing's words were very resentful. You are really? It's already halfway through the meal and you still call him Ali. That's not good. Xin Xinhui's face was already very reluctant. Are you asking him to come over for dinner? I'm asking him to come over to talk about the project. Do you understand? Why are you still sitting there? Hurry up and make the call. Tao Yuanxing stared at Tao Yuan and urged. She calmly ate her meal, unperturbed by the situation. I don't have such a big influence. What's with your tone? Are you deliberately angry with me? Just go if I ask you. Tao Yuan originally wanted to finish the meal quietly, but Tao Yuanxing was so persistent that she had no choice but to put down the chopsticks and said directly. I'm going to divorce Lu Li. It was much easier to blurt it out than she thought. After saying it, she was very calm and not afraid at all. Xin Xinhui didn't expect that she would suddenly say it in front of Tao Yuanxing and was so scared that the chopsticks fell. Tao Yuanxing's face was even more terrible. What did you say? Divorce? Do you know what you are saying? Didn't you hear it clearly? Divorce. Is your brain not clear? I just asked you to ask Ali to come over for dinner. You are angry and want to divorce me. You have such a bad temper. No wonder Ali doesn't like you. I am not angry with you. Tao Yuan stared at him with determination. She could hear every word clearly. I want to divorce Lu Li. I have thought about it clearly for a long time, but I just brought it up now. I think there is something wrong with your brain. I don't want to listen to you. Get out. Subconsciously, Tao Yuanxing wanted to escape from this fact. I've already made myself very clear. Let's leave it at that. Tao Yuan said and was about to get up. Bang! A bowl flew past Tao Yuan's cheek and fell to the ground, splashing pieces. She was cold in her heart. It almost hit her. Tao Yuanxing had stood up in a rage. I don't agree. I just told you my decision, not asking for your consent. Parents don't need to sign the divorce agreement. You? What's wrong with you? Why do you have such a ridiculous idea? Ridiculous? Oh, I have been bound by this nominal marriage for 4 years. Isn't it enough? How long do you want to delay me? 30 years old? Tao Yuan's heart was cold. Was this really her father? Even if he didn't love her, he shouldn't be so cruel, right? Is it because of those women outside Ali? What's the big deal? You said it yourself for 4 years. You have endured it even if you don't want to. Why are you making a fuss now? Which man wasn't dissolute when he was young? He has power and influence. What's wrong with playing with a few women? Why are you so narrow-minded? Tao Yuan was irritated by these words. He doesn't go home for 365 days a year and spends the night in other women's beds. Those women outside come to the hotel to make trouble for me every 2 or 3 days. Am I narrow-minded? Your marriage is not because of love. Since there is no love, you should get more benefits. That's why I am so anxious about the Scenic View Villa project. It's all for you. Tao Yuanxing spoke with confidence and his voice was loud and clear. This was the funniest joke Tao Yuan had ever heard. For me? You are doing it for yourself. How is this marrying off your daughter? You are selling your daughter. These years, the Tao family has benefited a lot from the Lu family, right? Isn't it enough? You are too greedy. You are rebelling. Tao Yuanxing flew into a rage. He rushed over and slapped Tao Yuan. The corner of her mouth was bleeding. What are you doing? Xin Xinhui hurriedly stood in front of Tao Yuan. Her eyes were red. How can you hit your daughter? It's because of your stubbornness and arrogance. How dare you talk to me like this? The slap on her face was burning. But Tao Yuan did not feel any pain at all. Instead, it strengthened her determination to divorce. Her eyes did not even turn red. She raised her head and smiled coldly at Tao Yuanxing. Am I wrong? I am just a tool for you to make money. You were the one who insisted on marrying Lu Li. Now you are blaming me? Am I the one who put a knife to your neck and forced you to marry him? It's you? You want to marry him and divorce him. You are too selfish. Think about it. Your mother has been living a luxurious life all these years because of me. Xin Xinhui was hurt. Don't worry. I will take care of my mother after the divorce. I don't need to rely on you or the Tao family. I am the one who got married. Why can't I get a divorce? It's impossible for you to do this for no reason. You have someone else outside, right? So what if I do? You have no shame. Tao Yuanxing was about to hit her again. Xin Xinhui hurriedly stopped him and screamed. Calm down. Don't you know our daughter? She must have been wrong to do this. You can't hurt her anymore. Why must we divorce? Tell me. Tao Yuanxing pressed. Tao Yanran is back. Is this reason enough? Tao Yuanxing's entire body shook, and he took a few steps back, his brows tightly knitted together. Yanran? Yes, she is back. She and Lu Li are going to get back together soon. Why are you so anxious about the Scenic View Villa project? Lu Li likes her so much. You can just let her have some pillow talk. Anyway, you only care about your interests. It doesn't matter which daughter it is. However, whether she will help you or not is another matter. Tao Yuanxing could not stand her sarcastic face. His mind was in a mess and he could not figure out what to do. No matter what, you can't get a divorce. I don't want to see you now. Get out of here. Whether you agree or not, we are getting a divorce. After saying this, Tao Yuan ran upstairs. She went back to the room and looked at the mirror. The left side of her face was swollen. But she did not feel pain at all. She had finally said the word divorce. She felt very happy and excited. It was really tiring to be too concerned about other people's feelings and wronged herself. It was so much easier to live only for herself. Yuan, mom is here. Xin Xinhui came in with a few ice cubes. Tsk, why is it so swollen? Your dad is too cruel. Isn't he hitting his own daughter? Tao Yuan twitched the corner of her mouth coldly. It's just a tool. What's there to feel bad about? Chapter 509. But he did not bring me up. We have no feelings. He and Tao Yanran have a deep relationship. They are the real father and daughter. Xin Xinhui sighed. It's all my fault. It's okay. It's just a slap. The swelling will go down tomorrow. You're really bold. You actually talked about divorce in front of your father. He almost died of anger. If he didn't push me so hard, I wouldn't want to do it either. But it's better this way. It's better to get it over with. Tao Yuan put ice on her face and grimaced in pain. Have you thought about it? What's there to think about? If Tao Yanran didn't come back, it might still be undecided. But even if I wanted to think about it, she wouldn't give me time to think about it. She had come back this time for the position of Mrs. Lu. Do you think Tao Yanran won't find a way to drive me away? If I don't file for divorce myself, I don't know how much trouble I will cause in the future. Xin Xinhui felt very sad. Why does Ali like Yanran so much? She is not as good as you. You can't say that. She is much better at seducing men than I am. Tao Yuan said. Mom, don't worry about me. I'm worried about you. Dad is so selfish. He said in front of you that it's normal for a man to flirt outside. He didn't consider your feelings at all. By the way, does he really love you? Well, if he didn't love me, he wouldn't have divorced. At his age, he has a stable family. It takes courage to divorce. Tao Yuan thought for a while. That's true. But his head is full of interests, which is really disgusting. Well, he did it for Mrs. Tao. You have to understand. Whatever. Anyway, he has his own position and I have my own considerations. The divorce is between me and Lu Li. He can't do anything about it. What's Ali's attitude? He is crazy now, so he doesn't agree. But he will be fine in a few days. You have grown up and have your own ideas. If you really can't live, I support you to divorce. But I'm afraid your father won't give up so easily. Be careful. Tao Yuanxing was so angry that he couldn't sleep the whole night. When he woke up early the next day, Tao Yuan had already left. He went straight to the Wilton Hotel and went straight to the CEO's office, but was stopped by the secretary at the door. Mr. Tao, Mr. Lu is receiving guests. You can't go in. Tao Yuanxing was very angry now. He didn't care that the other party was a woman and pushed hard. The secretary took a few steps back and almost knocked over the vase. If you're not in a meeting, you're on a business trip, or you're receiving clients. You always use these excuses to brush me off. Aren't you annoyed? Tao, 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 up, Tao, up, 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 up. Lu Tao Ti not, Tao not, up. Tao, 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 Tao Li. Don't you dare stop me today. Tao Yuanxing didn't care and rushed into the office. Lu Li was in a meeting with 2 British clients and they all looked at him. Tao, 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 the secretary's face turned pale. Zhou Xingyang was about to step forward but Lu Li stopped him. Take them to breakfast first and we'll talk later. Yes, Mr. Tao. Zhou Xingyang left with the clients and closed the door. Tao Yuanxing asked anxiously. What do you mean by not seeing me? Lu Li took out a cigarette pack, put it in his mouth and lit it. There seemed to be some displeasure between his eyebrows, but it was diluted by the smoke. It was still an expressionless face, making it difficult to see through his emotions. Did I? I've been calling you but your secretary always says you're busy. You should have time to answer a phone call, right? Tao Yuanxing was so angry that he sat on the sofa and urged anxiously. When will the Scenic View Villa project be approved? Haven't I already promised? What's the hurry? Lu Li could not bear to see his greedy face. He flicked the ash off his cigarette with his slender fingers in a casual and calm manner. It's because you promised but it hasn't been approved. That's why I'm anxious. Will there be any changes? Last time it had been delayed like this, and Tao Yuanxing had already been traumatized by it. He couldn't rest assured if it wasn't approved. I did approve it but it has to go through the procedures. There are many departments in the company. Don't you understand the reason? Lu Li looked down on selfish businessmen like Tao Yuanxing from the bottom of his heart. So, even if he was his father-in-law, his attitude was not polite at all. There was always a sense of contempt in his heart. I understand, but will it take so long? No matter how many departments there are in the company, it's still you who call the shots. It's just a matter of a word from you. If you urged me, I wouldn't have to wait so long. Tao Yuanxing was very resentful, but he was also on tenterhooks. Don't tell me it's because of Tao Yuan? Lu Li's eyebrows were knitted together. He smiled a puzzled smile. What do you mean? She came back yesterday and said she wants to divorce you. Lu Li was only surprised for a short second. It seemed that that woman was determined this time. Did she get angry because of what happened at the dinner party? He only replied with an "oh." Tao Yuanxing couldn't figure out what he meant and became even more nervous. What do you mean by, "oh"? Don't tell me you're really going to divorce? He was so anxious that he couldn't sit still. I said she's stubborn. Once she's angry, she doesn't care about anything. But she can't think clearly and doesn't know what she's doing. I've already told her that it's normal for a successful man like you to put on a show outside. Isn't it all for the company and family? I was like this when I was young. There's no need to be so narrow-minded and calculative. Lu Li slowly puffed out a puff of white smoke and said with a half-smile. She's been very magnanimous on this matter. I don't think this is the reason for her divorce. Tao Yuanxing said hesitantly. Is it because of Yanran? I heard she's back. A rare look of shame appeared on his face. Lu Li really found it ironic that Tao Yuanxing would also blush? He thought that he only cared about profits and had no father-daughter relationship. Is she okay? You haven't met her? Tao Yuanxing could hear the sarcasm in Lu Li's words and felt a little embarrassed. You know, she's still blaming me for the divorce with her mother. How could she take the initiative to look for me? I haven't heard anything about them in the years she's been away. Lu Li's lips curled up. From what you're saying, you're not going to get a divorce because you feel guilty. I don't know if I'll regret it in the future, but I'm sure I'll have regrets. Tao Yuanxing was momentarily disappointed for a few seconds before he focused on the project and carefully considered his words. Actually, you and Yanran got along quite well back then. We were like a family and got along. Regardless of my relationship with her mother, I still want you two to be together. If it wasn't for your dad forcing you to marry Yuan, you two wouldn't be like this. But no matter what, you're both my daughters. No matter who you marry, we're family. Lu Li had seen a lot of shameless people, but he, Tao Yuanxing, was definitely the one who deserved the word shameless. A father who used his own daughter as a tool couldn't even be considered a human, right? It was really pitiful for Tao Yuan to be involved with him. Anyway, what I mean is, we're family. It doesn't matter if you like Yanran or Yuan, It can't change our relationship. Don't you think so? We're a family, so we have to benefit each other. So regarding the project. Lu Li snuffed out the cigarette and let out a puff of smoke from his nose as he smiled lightly. Benefit each other? Then what's my benefit? Tao Yuan has never given me a good attitude, and I can only be bullied when I'm with her. Tell me, is she worthy of me treating her well? She doesn't appreciate it anyway. Sure enough, Tao Yuan offended him. Tao Yuanxing cursed in his heart, but he still had to smile. She's still young, stubborn and immature. Don't bother with her. It's not that she's immature. She made me unhappy, very unhappy. What should I do? How about this, what did she do wrong? I'll apologize on her behalf. Of course, an apology has to be made in person. Okay, I'll ask her to apologize to you in person. Then don't delay the Scenic View Villa project any longer. I won't disturb you any longer, you go ahead. Tao Yuanxing stood up, almost bowing his head and bowing to please him. I'll go find her now and ask her to apologize to you. Don't be angry. He smiled and left the office. Tao Yuanxing's face immediately sank, very ugly. If it wasn't for the project worth hundreds of millions, he wouldn't have to be so humble. On Sunday, Tao Yuan went back to the hotel to pack her things. Thinking that she could soon get out of this troublesome place, her mood was really wonderful. She couldn't help but hum a song. You still have the mood to sing? Tao Yuanxing angrily rushed in, grabbed her hand and dragged her out. Tao Yuan grabbed the table and refused to go. Where are you going? You still ask? Of course, to apologize to Ali. Apologize? His confident and impatient expression made Tao Yuan speechless, and she struggled even more. Why should I apologize? I didn't do anything wrong. You still dare to say that? I just went to find Ali. He said that you made him unhappy, so he stopped the Scenic View Villa project. I've already said that it's all your fault. I'm not wrong. He's the one who's wrong. He's sick. It's your bad temper that offended him. Do you talk to him like this? Do you know who he is? Who is he? He's a devil, a pervert. Shut up. I don't care what you do, but you can't affect the Scenic View Villa project. He said that you must apologize to him. I won't go. When Tao Yuan was stubborn, she was also very strong. Tao Yuanxing couldn't do anything to her for a while. Anyway, we're going to divorce. It's better if the Scenic View Villa project doesn't go through. This is his conspiracy. He just wants to use this project to restrain me and prevent me from getting a divorce. If you sign the contract, you'll fall into his trap. He can use this to threaten me. That's your business. Anyway, I have to get this project. Tao Yuan's heart was really cold. Chapter 5:10. Don't make it sound so bad. You broke him up with Yanran. Don't you like him very much? Wouldn't it be better if he didn't divorce? It's all your fault. If he married Yanran, would there be so much trouble today? You owe me. Whether you want to or not, you have to compensate me. I don't owe you anything. Tao Yuan was completely enraged. She pushed hard with all her strength. Even Tao Yuanxing was pushed back a few steps. It's my business if I want to get a divorce. I can't sacrifice myself for your project. If you want to take over Scenic View Villa, you can beg him yourself or ask Tao Yanran to do it. Anyway, it has nothing to do with me. He wants you to apologize now. Do you think it's useful for me to beg him? Cruel and unscrupulous thing. Being cruel and unscrupulous is better than you being heartless. No matter how many times you say it, it's the same. I will divorce this marriage no matter what. I said I don't agree. This is my marriage. Why should I consider your opinion? There is no law that requires your consent, right? It's useless for you to yell at me. It's embarrassing enough for you to make such a scene. Leave now. I don't want to see you. Tao Yuan didn't even want to look at him and continued to pack up. Tao Yuanxing stood there for a while. He wanted to get angry but couldn't. In the end, he smashed a potted plant and left. Tao Yuan threw all the documents into the box in annoyance. She put her hands on the table and the fire was drilling in her body. After all, this was caused by Lu Li. The more she thought about it, the more she couldn't swallow it. She called Zhou Xingyang and asked him where Lu Li was in the restaurant. Then she went there directly. As soon as she entered the restaurant, Tao Yuan found Lu Li at a glance. Not only because he was sitting by the window but also because the sun shone on him, making him look dazzling. But also because of the halo around him, he was even more eye-catching and attracted everyone's attention. Of course, in Tao Yuan's eyes, this was called repulsive. When they first entered the restaurant, she really had the urge to rush over, grab a cup of coffee and pour it on his face. It was simple and violent. Just thinking about it made her feel good. However, she was a woman with self-control. If he did that under the watchful eyes of so many people, he was afraid that it would cause a lot of trouble. So, in the end, she calmly walked over and sat opposite him. A cup of black coffee was placed in front of Lu Li. It was already a little cold. He lowered his eyes and was reading the newspaper. This angle highlighted the high bridge of his nose, which outlined the lines of his entire face. His narrow nostrils exuded an air of arrogance. When he wasn't sharp-tongued, he was really a very pleasing man. Tao Yuan thought in her heart, no wonder so many women were head over heels for him. Fortunately, she was already past the age of looking at appearances, so she wouldn't be fooled by his appearance. Lu Li folded the newspaper and put it aside. He took a sip of coffee and looked at the woman who had been waiting for him for a long time. His thin lips twitched, revealing a hint of coldness. Looking for me? His voice was careless. Looking at his nonchalant attitude, it really confirmed what Tao Yuan had said. He, Lu Li, didn't lack anything, but he lacked a heart, a very big one. To put it bluntly, he was heartless and heartless. He didn't care at all about bringing disaster to other people's lives. He could make people unhappy as he pleased, but no one could make him unhappy in the slightest. I heard that the project with Alan Mansion has been signed. Congratulations. This project has been in discussion since the beginning of the year, but it hasn't been settled yet. You still have to do it personally. Lu Li gave her a look that said, "Isn't this nonsense?" That arrogance was innate. Everyone in the hotel can see your ability. Those who were worried that you spent too much energy on women and doubted your ability to work can shut up this time. Including you? I've never doubted your ability. Lu Li smiled and touched his lips, his voice deep. Are you trying to flatter me? Men enjoy compliments that are just right, don't they? Actually, what I want to say is that since you're a man who distinguishes between public and private matters, you should understand that there's no need to drag a third party into this. Using someone else to do your dirty work is really not upright. I've always only cared about winning or losing, not the result. To me, your theory is just a bunch of nonsense. Lu Li lit a cigarette, his attitude becoming more and more indifferent. Is there a need to take our personal grudges to the surface? The divorce is our business, why drag my dad into it? It seems that the person who dragged him into it was you, Tao Yuan. This morning, when I was in a meeting, he suddenly barged in and said that you're not in your right mind and wanted to divorce me. The smile at the corner of her mouth rose to the tip of her eyebrows, faintly tinged with a hint of mockery, and she deliberately paused. He humbly begged me not to divorce you. He's really worried about your marriage. Oh no, to be precise, it's for the Scenic View Villa project. No matter what, he's the dignified President Tao. It's really pitiful for him to humiliate himself for a few $100 million. What? Then he went to you to make trouble? Didn't you hint to him that you stopped the Scenic View Villa project because I offended you? So, you're here to apologize to me? Tao Yuan shook her head. On the contrary, I thank you for doing this. I didn't agree with that project, so it's best if it can't be signed. Of course, as long as Tao Yanran says it, you'll definitely sign it immediately. That should be after our divorce, and it has nothing to do with me. The cigarette butt was burning on Lu Li's fingertips. He looked at Tao Yuan faintly, looking calm. However, he could see through her heart, which was not calm at all. He bet that her mood now was similar to walking on a tightrope on a cliff. She had to be careful with every step. Yanran and I have our own business, and you don't need to worry about it. Now the situation is very obvious. Tao Yuanxing is more worried about the divorce than you are. If you want to divorce me, you might as well give him a rope and let him hang himself. That's not true. Isn't there still Tao Yanran? She's better at pleasing you than I am. You and I both know that my father doesn't care about our marriage, but his interests. As long as his interests can be guaranteed, then he will not object. Who knows, maybe my next husband will give him more benefits. At that time, he should be very grateful for my decision to divorce. There was a trace of displeasure in the corner of Lu Li's eyes, but it was very faint, and others couldn't notice it at all. Next husband? His tone was mocking. The current one hasn't left yet, and you're already thinking about the next one. Aren't you too impatient? Did she think he was dead? Boss Lu, you have already found the next one. I'm not impatient at all when I say this. For a woman like me, you probably won't expect me to be a young divorced woman for the rest of my life, right? I'm only 25 years old and I don't have children. I have my own career and my conditions are not bad. It's not difficult to find a good second marriage. Tao Yuan said confidently. She was not just bragging to provoke Luli. She was clear about her own conditions and she still had this confidence. On the matter of divorce, she was not pessimistic at all. You'd better not have so much hope. It's one thing for a man to flirt with you, but it's another thing whether he's willing to marry you. Take Fang Yicheng for example. His family is going to break up with him because of you. Do you think you can marry into the Fang family? Don't look at how much he loves you now. Time reveals a man's heart, and I don't think he can last long. A woman who's married twice, no matter how good her conditions are, will at most find a divorced man. Don't be too optimistic. Whether it's good or not, we'll know after the divorce. Anyway, I'm willing to take this risk. No matter how bad it is, it won't be worse than being with you, right? She really dared to say it. Luli narrowed his eyes. His long and narrow pupils were like a dangerous wolf that hid danger. Tao Yuan felt that he wasn't drinking coffee, but her own blood. She knew him too well. Even if he didn't love her when she mentioned other men in front of him, it would still provoke his ridiculous pride as a man. He probably wanted to bite her neck off right now. After a few rounds of competition, she slowly mastered the skills to deal with this kind of man. It was rather stupid to argue with him, and she would definitely be the one who would suffer in the end. She wanted to smile in all kinds of flirtatious and gentle ways. She wanted him to grit his teeth in hatred, but he couldn't get angry and hold it in until he suffered internal injuries. Now that I think about it, one of my biggest regrets in the past 20 years is that I got married without dating once. I didn't even enjoy the feeling of being in love. Panchi is quite right. The best maintenance for a woman is not skincare products, but the nourishment of love, as well as the feeling of being pursued by a man and flirting with a man. Luli smiled. Don't you have a lot of flies around Tao Yuan? Do you lack the feeling of being pursued by a man? Do you take the initiative to hook up with all those men? Aren't we still married? Being bound by marriage is more or less inconvenient. For example, you often come to me to cause trouble, and there are so many eyes staring at you. It's really troublesome to cause such a big commotion with the slightest movement. It's different after the divorce. You're single again and you can flirt with any man you want. It's normal even if you have an affair, don't you think so? Hehe, you probably can't empathize with what I'm saying. After all, you, young Master Lu, have never been affected by marriage. The red flag at home is still standing, and the colorful flag is fluttering outside. Isn't it okay for you to have so many scandals with so many women? All the married men look up to you as a role model, and they are eager to live your life. Tao Yuan deliberately said it in a sour tone. Anyway, she could do whatever that made him dislike her. Most men didn't like sarcastic women. Of course, now that Tao Yanran is back, the situation is different. After all, the law is not open to polygamy. There can only be one legal spouse. So, this marriage must be divorced. Otherwise, wouldn't it make your sweetheart sad? Hearing her say so much, Luli just twitched the corner of his mouth and threw out a sentence. Tao Yuan, you are so vicious. I can't help it. A wife who has gone through hardships is full of resentment. I think you, a wife who has gone through hardships, have a more exciting private life than anyone else. But to you, I'm still that old, faded woman, am I not? At this point, Tao Yuan felt that it was about time. Chapter 511. Pack your things? Transfer back to the Ministry of Commerce? I almost forgot to tell you, you did a good job in the customer service department last month. There were obviously fewer complaints. Since you were able to bring the worst team to the forefront, it shows that you are still very capable, so continue to stay there. Tao Yuan had just left the chair when she sat back down. What did you say? Didn't you agree? You even suggested it. The situation was too sudden, she lost her composure and her tone was a little anxious. That was what I thought at first, but then I thought about it. For someone as capable as you, even in the customer service department, you can still display your talents or even perform better. How can I ruin your future? Don't worry, your salary will still increase. He knew that she didn't care about the salary. Tao Yuan was annoyed, she knew that he was purposely making her anxious. But when she thought of the sinister women in the customer service department, she felt that it was hell. Rather than asking her to go back, she might as well give her a quick stab. A man's words are worth their weight in gold, he can't go back on his words. There is such a saying. Luli nodded. But, didn't you say before that a man's words can be trusted, and that pigs can climb trees? Since you know this, I don't need to explain, right? You are obviously using your position for personal gain and targeting me. So what if I am? Luli stood up, bent down and stopped by her ear, His smile was so gentle that it was almost perverted. You made me unhappy, so I will make you even more unhappy. After a night of consideration, Tao Yuan finally decided to ignore Lu Li's nonsense, and the next day she packed her things back to the business department as usual. There were already many grudges between them, she didn't care if there was another one. When she went to work in the morning, the business department was empty, there was not a single person. Tao Yuan was puzzled, when a firework suddenly exploded behind her, spewing out colorful lights and stars. Manager, welcome back. The staff all came out from under the table. Lin Wei was holding a firework, smiling brightly at her. Lao Liang and a few colleagues pushed a cake over. Tao Yuan was so surprised that she didn't know what to say. Especially after the painful experience in the customer service department, she was so touched that she almost cried. Manager, do you like the surprise we prepared for you? Tao Yuan nodded vigorously. You guys are too considerate. Hee, when we heard that you came back last Friday, our colleagues spontaneously organized a welcome party. They said that you are the manager and that you are well loved. Isn't that right? We have been looking forward to your return for a long time. I'll treat you to karaoke this Friday night. You're the main character, so you must come. Lao Liang said. No problem. Tao Yuan cut a big cake and everyone shared it. The whole department was happy and harmonious, and laughter filled the air. This scene made Tao Yuan feel warm from the bottom of her heart. Even if Lu Li used this matter to mess with her again, she felt that it was worth it to have such a colleague. After eating the cake, Director Huang called Tao Yuan into his office. Have you completed the procedures for the personnel transfer? Yes, it's done. Why didn't I receive any instructions from the higher-ups? She was a little confused. Tao Yuan was afraid that she would give herself away, so she could only answer. The CEO told me personally. If you have any questions, you can ask him. Director Huang shook his head. Since it was arranged by the CEO, then there's no problem. It was also his decision to transfer you. Alright, go back to work. The previous office has been reserved for you. Thank you, Director. Before she came back, Lin Wei had already cleaned the office and added 2 potted plants. Thinking back to the 3 years she had worked here, some beautiful memories floated up in Tao Yuan's mind. She was finally back. A tall young woman walked over with a cup of coffee. She leaned against the door and looked at her with an unfriendly gaze. You are the previous manager, Tao Yuan? Yes. Tao Yuan also looked at the unfamiliar face. She was wearing a Chanel suit and had an arrogant attitude. She deduced that she was Su Meng, who had replaced her. She was the daughter of a board member. Apparently, she used to be an art student at a diploma mill overseas. Because her private life was too messy overseas, her father brought her back and arranged her to work here. Her major was not suitable to begin with. Coupled with the fact that she had been pampered, she probably only knew how to eat, drink and have fun. No wonder Lao Liang was so angry at her. I originally arranged for you to stay in this office, but I don't like to use other people's offices, so I asked them to open a new one, right across from yours. Oh, that's good for me. My room faces the south and has the best lighting. It's airy too. The lighting in your room is average and it's noisy near the elevator. Hearing this, Su Meng was a little unhappy. She regretted not choosing her room. She pouted. Really? Then let me try it again. If it's really like what you said, I'll swap with you. Looking at her matter-of-fact look, Tao Yuan's impression of her was even worse. She hated this kind of arrogant and willful woman who thought that everyone in the world was her mother and everyone had to give in to her. Sorry, I'm not changing. Don't you know who I am? Su Meng straightened her back and said proudly. I am the daughter of Mr. Su. Tao Yuan wanted to reply with, oh, so? However, she was so arrogant. If she did not teach her a lesson, she would not be able to take it lying down. The best way to deal with this kind of arrogant young lady was to give her a taste of her own medicine. So, I am the wife of the president. The whole hotel is mine. Ah, that's hilarious. Or are you trying to scare? I also attended the company's anniversary celebration. You were the only one there. The president did not want you anymore, and you still have the nerve to show off in the name of the wife of the president. If I were you, I would be too embarrassed to stay. But this is normal. The president has so many women outside. Which one of them is not younger and prettier than you? It's not like the president is blind. How could he like you? Here comes another sarcastic woman. Tao Yuan sighed in her heart. Why did women make things difficult for other women? No matter what you say, it is an indisputable fact that I am the wife of the president. It is also an indisputable fact that I am the manager here. If you have any dissatisfaction, you can talk to your father and then let him talk to the president and see how he answers. Su Ming was really frightened for a moment. How could she have the guts? She dared to be arrogant in front of Tao Yuan, but who dared to provoke Lu Li? Wasn't that asking for trouble? She had suffered a setback and could only find another reason. I had an appointment with Mr. Chin of Deguang Group tonight. Since you are back, you can go. Wasn't that the project before I left? It's been almost a month and it hasn't been settled yet? That person is too stubborn. He said that our offer is too expensive. I have talked to him twice and I don't want to talk to him anymore. Isn't it just a little money? Is it like a man to be calculative? Besides, you also know that it is the project before you left. Now that you are back, of course you have to go. Then what are you doing? What does it have to do with you? I have my own things to do. 7 o'clock tonight, Hilton Hotel. Don't forget. Su Ming left after saying that. Tao Yuan took out her phone and wrote down the time and place. It was not that she listened to Su Ming's orders, but she had always been serious about work. In front of personal conflicts and work, she always put work first. At 7 o'clock in the evening, Tao Yuan received Qin Hao, a middle-aged man in his 50s, at the Hilton Hotel. Manager Tao, why are you here? Qin Hao asked in surprise. Where is that Su Ming from last time? She is not free today, so I will come over. If Mr. Qin wants to talk to her, then I will contact her now. Tao Yuan pretended to take out her phone, but in fact she did not know Su Ming's number at all. No. Mr. Qin quickly waved his hand, looking unlucky. I don't want to see her. What's wrong? Is there anything that Mr. Qin is not satisfied with? I am not satisfied with anything. Mr. Chen's face was irritated when he mentioned it. I am quite afraid of talking business with young girls now. They are too immature and have no manners at all. Especially her, she is too arrogant. She takes advantage of the wealth of your Wilton Hotel. When she speaks to me, her eyes seem to grow on the top of her head. Her tone is also very cold and she is always playing with her phone. I have been in the business world for decades. When I founded Deguang, that little girl was not even born yet. She did not respect me at all. Of course, money is the most important thing in business. Isn't it just that the price is not agreeable? She actually said that I am stingy and have no magnanimity. I have never been treated like this before. If it were not for the sincerity of cooperating with Wilton Hotel, I would not have met her today. After all, she is still young. Mr. Qin, you are a senior in this industry, so don't argue with her. The Prime Minister's stomach can carry a boat. Mr. Qin, you will definitely not lower yourself to her level, right? It is all our company's fault. I will punish myself and apologize to you on her behalf. Tao Yuan spoke gently and appropriately. After drinking a glass of red wine, Mr. Chen's anger dissipated a lot. After all, he was a man. He could not resist a woman's gentle attack. Mr. Tao, you know the big picture. It is more comfortable to talk business with you. Thank you, Mr. Chin. As for the previous price, we have given you a price of 5 million per quarter. That is too high. Our chain stores have also rented storefronts in other big hotels, and the highest price was 5 million. Your hotel is a whole 500,000 more. Mr. Chin, you also know that different prices, different services, and different values. You are an expert in this field. Our prices are set according to the hotel's customer flow and the hotel star rating. If we overquote, we will definitely not be able to fool you. This kind of price is definitely worth it. Although the initial investment seems to be a little large, the profits in the future are very considerable. I guarantee that you will be satisfied. Tao Yuan flattered him without batting an eyelid, and Qin Hao felt a little smug. After thinking for a long time, he compromised. Okay, 5 million it is. Since Manager Tao has promised, then I believe you. As expected of Mr. Qin. You are bold. I respect you. The two of them signed the contract very smoothly. Before Tao Yuan could be happy for long, an uninvited guest suddenly appeared. Her face immediately darkened. Mr. Liu? Mr. Qin hurriedly stood up. Why are you here? I happen to be here to entertain a few clients. Lu Li replied casually, and his gaze fell on Tao Yuan. Chapter 512. Just signed. I have to say that Manager Tao's eloquence and ability are top-notch. The project that had been delayed for a month was settled by her as soon as she took charge. Boss Liu has such a good wife and a capable general. He's really a winner in life. It's enviable. He's envious too? Lu Li was a little jealous. We have something to talk about. Then I'll leave first. See you next time, Manager Tao. Manager Chen left sensibly. Tao Yuan sorted out the documents and wanted to leave too, but Lu Li spoke indifferently. Didn't you hear that I have something to say? I have nothing to say. He pulled her back. Tao Yuan furrowed her brows. What are you doing? Don't be so barbaric in public. Do you ignore my words? What are you talking about? I don't understand. Just yesterday, I clearly told you to stay in the customer service department. Do you not understand human language, or do you have a bad memory? I don't remember anything. I only remember that you took the initiative to ask me to transfer back to the customer service department that day. You said that, right? I have selective memory and only remember important things. I can't remember unimportant things. You only listen to what you want to hear, right? Can you bear the consequences of disobeying my orders and secretly disobeying me? Lu Li's eyes darkened and his fingers that were holding her tightened. After all, they were in a high-class hotel and surrounded by people of high status. Tao Yuan couldn't struggle much and tried to control her temper. What do you mean by secretly disobeying? Why is it that what you said yesterday is true, but what you said last time is not true? You can't do whatever you want. As a man, you can't go back on your words. Besides, I'm not a thing. You can place me here today and tomorrow you can place me somewhere else and then move me to another place. Even if I'm a plant, I'll die if I keep moving, okay? I'm not worried about that. You Tao Yuan are very tough. You won't die anywhere. Tao Yuan was really annoyed with this man. No matter what, this is a high-class place and you, Lu Li, are a reputable person. It's not nice to pester you like this, right? I know what you want to say, but I also have my position. I've already returned to the commerce department, so there's no way I'm going back to the customer service department. Even if you tie me up, I will crawl back to the customer service department. This is my determination, do you understand? With her other hand, she pried open his fingers one by one. Actually, the hotel is so big that we don't usually see each other. It doesn't matter which department I'm in as long as I'm not under your nose. Why do you have to bother so much? If you have so much free time, you should spend more time with your next Mrs. Lu. I'm not worth your trouble. After saying this, Tao Yuan walked away with her head held high. As Lu Li watched her leave, he actually didn't feel angry. Instead, he felt that she was wearing a set of clothes today. Her figure was excellent and she was very beautiful. Was this the clothes that he had spent more than 200,000 yuan on? She wanted to spend his money to dress herself up beautifully and then come out to seduce men. She must be dreaming. Even if she wanted to dress up, she could only dress up for him. Did she like to be a butterfly? Then he would break the wings of this butterfly. Let's see how she could fly. At the regular meeting the next day, Manager Huang praised Tao Yuan. De Guang's project has been delayed for more than a month, and it's finally signed. Manager Tao, you've done a good job. It's all thanks to everyone. Tao Yuan said modestly. Manager Tao, there's no need to say such beautiful words. Su Ming said in a strange tone. Everyone knows that you single-handedly took care of Boss Chen. We have no credit. However, the hearts of the people present were all on Tao Yuan's side. As an employee, she was humble and low-key. She had team spirit and outstanding ability. As a superior, she was kind and gentle. She did not put on any airs and was impeccable. Su Ming was a negative example. She did not do anything at work and liked to order people around. She had a bad temper and would lose her temper if she said one sentence more than twice. She had no ability. She had an expression of, I'm the daughter of the director. She was too arrogant. Hence, everyone was annoyed when they heard her speak. Lin Wei immediately said, Boss Su, you've been working on this project for a month. Why haven't you signed it yet? Didn't I tell you? I'm not as capable as Boss Tao. I can't handle that old man. I've heard before I came that Boss Tao is very good at dealing with clients, especially male clients. There's no project that she can't sign. But what exactly is this set? She dragged out her voice and said faintly. I don't know. That's enough, stop talking. I don't care what you guys do. I only care about the results. Su Ming, you're indeed lacking in this area. You should learn more from Tao Yuan. Manager Huang said. It was not a harsh remark, but Su Ming could not take it anymore. She had never been criticized by anyone in her life. She gritted her teeth. I don't have that ability. I can't learn it. She pushed her chair away and left. Her colleagues rolled their eyes behind her. Manager Huang was embarrassed too, but she held it in. Let's continue the meeting. Tao Yuan received a sum of money and told Pan Chi about it. She immediately asked her to treat her to dinner. It was a cold day, so Tao Yuan decided to have hot pot at home. After work, she bought a lot of ingredients and returned to Pan Chi's apartment. She called her but she did not pick up. She sent her a WeChat message, urging her to come back as soon as possible. It took her more than half an hour to finish washing and chopping the vegetables. Ding dong, you big head prawn, you didn't bring your phone again? What are you going to do when I'm not home? Did you calculate this time to come back so you don't want to work? You'll have to wash the dishes. Tao Yuan opened the door and her smile froze on her lips. A second later, she quickly closed the door, but another hand was faster and blocked it. Luli, what are you doing? Tao Yuan was still blocking the door, not letting him in. What am I doing? I'm here to look for my wife. With a gentle push, he pushed her away and walked in without saying a word. Hey, hurry up and leave, no one invited you in. I'm going to call the police. I mopped the floor yesterday, you should change your shoes. He didn't say a word and swaggered in as if he was in his own home. You're not leaving? I'm going to call the police. Tao Yuan had just taken out her phone when Luli snatched it away and threw it on the sofa. Why did you throw my phone? He looked gentle and refined, but his behavior was very rude. Luli took off his suit and pulled off his tie, revealing his slender neck. He looked at the hot pot on the table. There were 2 bowls and the sauce was ready. Are you waiting for me? Are you dreaming? I'm waiting for Pan Chi. Beef, meatballs, potatoes, bean curd, lettuce. Not bad, it's cold today, perfect for hot pot. The man was full of interest. What does it have to do with you? Hurry up and leave, Pan Chi will be back soon. She's not free. How do you know? Before she could finish, the phone rang and Tao Yuan hurriedly picked it up. Chichi, where are you? Are you almost there? What? Home for dinner? I've already prepared everything, there's a whole table of dishes. Hey. Tao Yuan glared at Luli. This definitely had something to do with him. Not free? Then I came just in time. Even if she doesn't come back, it doesn't mean you have the right to eat. Can you eat so much alone? Even if I can't eat it, it's better to throw it away or feed it to the dogs than to let you eat it. He looked back at her, his eyes a little dangerous, and suddenly reached out his hand. Tao Yuan thought he was going to hit her, but he only gently pinched her face. It's just a meal. You won't get pregnant. Why are you so nervous? He was actually still laughing, shameless. However, Tao Yuan's heart trembled. It was a very intimate action for a man to pinch a woman's face. It was especially strange for it to happen between them. He had been laughing all day today. Did he get into a car accident on the way here, or did he hit his head on the door when he entered? What pregnancy? I want to vomit when I see you. I can't eat. Ha, I'm not that happy when I see you. But that's a different matter. Eating is eating, you are you. I don't mind. After saying that, the man unbuttoned his sleeves and rolled them up to his elbows. Then he sat down, turned on the induction cooker and began to boil water. He picked up the ingredients for the hot pot and glanced at it. Mandarin duck pot, Mandarin duck, he muttered as he pondered over this word. This means that it has to be eaten by 2 people. You're being unreasonable. Can't I eat spicy food and light food at the same time? Only when 2 people eat is it called eating. When one person eats, it's called filling the stomach. The man spoke eloquently. This was very unusual. Tao Yuan frowned. Are you having a fever today? What are you doing here? I have no choice. I can't find a wife at home, so I can only come to someone else's house to find one. She's going to be my ex-wife soon. But she's still my wife now, isn't she? Shouldn't you be accompanying Tao Yanran? She's not here. So you're using me to kill time? 2 boats at the same time? Looking for solace when you're lonely? Does Tao Yanran know that you're pestering me like this? After all, in her eyes, I'm the one who's pestering you. She should really see you now and see who's pestering who. Luli opened a bottle of Sprite and shook his head. You're full of thorns now. Aren't you tired? Too much anger is bad for your health. If you're so concerned about my health, then don't appear in front of me and cause me trouble. Aren't you tired of being at loggerheads every day? At least I have a clear stance, unlike you who's indirectly convulsing. Today you're strangling me and telling me to die, and tomorrow you're pestering me as if nothing has happened. Shouldn't you go see a psychiatrist? Luli looked at the woman 1 meter away from him, clenching his fists tightly. He felt a sense of urgency as he stared at her warily. She looked stubborn, but there was a hint of fear in her eyes. She was a paper tiger who pretended to be strong. If he didn't do anything, she would swagger around as if she was more powerful than anyone else. But if he scared her a little, she would be exposed. Both of them were well aware of this point, so why was she being so stubborn? Are you leaving or not? Lu Li calmly took a sip of Sprite. His attitude had explained everything. You're not leaving? Then I'll leave. Tao Yuan finished speaking and went to get her clothes. Chapter 513. She stopped in her tracks and sneered. We are so familiar with each other. Do you think I don't know what you do? You don't mean what you say. What's more, it's still unknown. You're moody. You may be in a good mood one second, but it's hard to say the next. How can I lose my appetite for someone like you just because of your uncertainty? Well, then I'll say it like this. If you dare to walk out of this door now, you will receive a resignation letter tomorrow. Would you prefer such a simple and crude way of saying it? Tao Yuan stopped and turned back to stare at the hateful man. He still had a look of nonchalance on his face, and his expression was extremely hateful. Do you think I will be afraid of you? Then you can give it a try. Oh, but you are going to divorce me. You should be ready to resign sooner or later. I am afraid this is not a threat to you. Tao Yuan had also thought about the problem of work carefully. Since they were going to divorce, it was best to break the relationship completely. That meant she had to resign no matter how reluctant she was. But after all, they were not divorced yet. She still wanted to work one more day. Lu Li must have seen that she was nervous about this job, so he was determined to take advantage of her. Tao Yuan was panting harder than a cow, but she still closed her eyes and suppressed all the anger. She put down her clothes and sat opposite him. You are not leaving? She smiled faintly. Her expression changed faster than flipping a book. Since you have said so, can I still leave? I can't go against anything but money, don't you think? It's more than 20,000 a month. I just got a bonus today, so I will show my respect to you. You inherited your greed for money from Tao Yuanxing, right? Lu Li said sarcastically. It's not entirely hereditary. Who doesn't love money? I work hard and get paid accordingly. It's only right and proper. I'm not a cow that eats grass and milks milk. I'm not that great. Then how can you bear to divorce me? Not many men are richer than me. No matter how much money you have, it's still yours at the end of the day. But I'm a bit greedy. I want someone who has money and is willing to give me their entire fortune. I don't just want money, I also want a lot of love. Tao Yuan felt that her tone was like a vixen and she had goosebumps. She wondered if Lu Li would feel like throwing up. But that would be the best. She wanted to disgust him so much that he couldn't eat. Women want both money and love. But it depended on whether you were worthy and whether you had the capital. A common mistake that women make is to think too highly of themselves. Perhaps in the eyes of men, you are no different from other women. I can't guarantee what other men will think, but I think I'm very charming to be able to make President Lu pester me like a fly. Tao Yuan was sharp-tongued, but Lu Li wasn't one to be trifled with. Men don't like women who are too headstrong. But women who are too weak won't be cherished by men. Compared to being a wife who has gone through hardships, at least she can live a wonderful life and won't get hurt. Besides, isn't your taste quite strong, Mr. Lu? Don't you also like Tao Yanran's spicy little pepper? What makes you think you can compare with Yanran? What's there to compare with her? If we really have to compare, then I think I'm better than her. Yes, you're better at being thick-skinned and more ruthless than her. Tao Yuan shook her head. I admit defeat on these 2 points. Don't rush to prove your little pepper's reputation. You have to get to know people slowly. I believe she will give you a surprise. It was more likely to be a shock. Seeing that he was about to say something, Tao Yuan took the initiative to stop him. Don't talk when eating, don't talk when sleeping. Let's eat quietly and not make each other unhappy. She added the hot pot ingredients into the pot, and it boiled in a short while. The two of them ate separately and didn't affect each other. Tao Yuan liked to eat spicy food and only ate spicy food. She dipped a lot of fat beef in it and ate a little fiercely. When Lu Li was eating, he was like an elegant aristocrat, leisurely. At first he only ate the clear soup side, but after tasting the spicy food, he changed his position and only ate spicy food. Tao Yuan remembered that he had a duodenal ulcer and couldn't stand the stimulation. She wanted to remind him to eat less spicy food, but he would think that she cared about him, so she didn't say anything and ate happily. Later her curse really came true. Lu Li started to run to the toilet halfway through his meal. When Tao Yuan finished clearing the table, he was still in the toilet. She knocked on the door. Why are you hiding in there? Are you okay? She knocked for a long time but there was no response. She thought Lu Li had passed out. She was about to force her way in when Luli walked out with his hands on his belly. He frowned and looked depressed. His face was livid and his lips were pale. What's wrong? Stomach upset? He stared at her, full of resentment. A few seconds later, she walked over and picked up her clothes. Come with me to the hospital. It's just diarrhea. There's no need to go to the hospital, right? Just buy some medicine when you leave. Faced with such a cruel woman, Luli's heart was cold and he threw the car keys to her. I can't drive like this. I don't owe you anything. Why should I send you? Get the driver to pick you up. He went over and grabbed her. He was so strong that Tao Yuan couldn't break free. Hey, can't you talk nicely? I can't talk nicely with you. Okay, let go. I'll send you. The night was bustling and the lights were flowing. Tao Yuan drove Lu Li's multi-million-dollar business car and took a look at him. He closed his eyes and held his stomach, lying there on the verge of death. To put it simply, he was lying there like a dead dog. His forehead was full of sweat and his lips were pale. He looked quite pitiful, but Tao Yuan really couldn't sympathize with him. Firstly, he was annoying, and secondly, he brought this upon himself. He deserved to die of pain. Your stomach must be hurting, right? I wanted to remind you to eat less spicy food. Lu Li's stomach was cramping and it was difficult for him to speak. What's the point of saying that now? I thought you could eat spicy food because you can't get rid of that little chili Tao Yanran. You don't look like much. She smiled unsympathetically. That's what you get for trying to be brave. Now you know how it feels, right? Spicy food was not something everyone could eat. If you don't have the ability, don't do it. You're so mean. Thank you. When they arrived at the hospital, Tao Yuan threw Lu Li to the doctor. After a while, a certain man was lying quietly on the bed. He's suffering from acute gastroenteritis. He already has a bad stomach, but he still ate so much spicy food. Isn't he asking for it? The old doctor shook his head. You young people nowadays just want to have a good mouth. You don't care whether your body can take it or not. You'll regret it when you get older. Yeah, some people just like to ask for it. Tao Yuan echoed. Lu Li closed his eyes and frowned slightly. If it weren't for the severe pain in his stomach, he would have grabbed this damn woman and beat her up. She only dared to be so arrogant at this time. Would she dare to do that in normal times? He was like a tiger being bullied by a dog when he fell to the plains. However, he would remember this debt and he would definitely get it back from her. The doctor left. Tao Yuan came back with the medicine and asked casually, "Do you need to take medicine?" No response. Drink some warm water? Still no response. It seemed that he didn't need her to be nosy. Tao Yuan was glad to get away. Then have a good rest. I'll go back first. I'll leave the car key here. I'll take a taxi back. Just as she was about to leave, a hand grabbed her. Her fingers were cold and soaked in sweat. Her skin shivered from the prickling sensation. What's wrong? Lu Li's eyes were still closed as he asked weakly, "You're going to leave me here alone? What else can I do? It's just acute gastroenteritis. It's not a serious illness. I'll be fine after a night's sleep. There's no need to leave someone to take care of me. Or I'll call your mother?" You're inhumane. Well, yes. She nodded her head very honestly. Then can I go? No. I don't want to stay in the hospital alone. When he said this, he sounded a little childish, which made Tao Yuan feel very strange. This man was too arrogant. Even when he was sick, she was not used to it and felt a little scared. Maybe she was used to being abused, but she still liked his fierce look. It's late. I have to go back. Stay. I really can't. He was silent. During this period, he seemed to sigh impatiently. Then he raised his eyelids and stared at her discontentedly. You really want to go? Well, I don't like this hospital. If you want someone to accompany you, call Tao Yanran. You can go, Lu Li said. He probably did not have the energy to argue with her, and she was very determined to leave, so he did not want to waste any more time with her. However, he was not so easy to fool, so he still put forward his conditions. But you have to bring dinner over tomorrow night to atone for your sins. Tao Yuan was amused. May I ask what crime I've committed? So, it's my fault that a pot of hot pot sent you to the hospital? I didn't beg you to eat it. It's you who refused to leave. You reap what you sow. We both ate hot pot. Why is it that I'm fine, but you have acute gastroenteritis? It's your body's hardware. Although Lu Li was such a tough man, he was still very unhappy after being repeatedly ridiculed by her. Have you said enough? I'm the one lying in the hospital bed now. You don't have to keep reminding me. I know more pain than you do. He was already angry. By right, Tao Yuan should be quite afraid. But what could she do? Other than wanting to laugh, she still wanted to laugh. Of course, a skinny camel was still bigger than a horse. Luli was also a very vengeful man. No matter how much Tao Yuan wanted to laugh, she had to hold it in. Seeing how pitiful he was, she took a step back. All right then. What do you want to eat tomorrow night? Tell me. The porridge downstairs at home. At home? Tao Yuan's first reaction was to mention the Lu family. Where can I find porridge near your home? Oh, you're talking about my home. Did he treat her home as his home so naturally? Tao Yuan's heart trembled involuntarily. Previously, you didn't want to cook, so you bought porridge downstairs and sent it to my home. You didn't say the name. Okay, I got it. Then you rest. I'll leave first. Chapter 5:14. Luli was a man who could always cause all kinds of trouble. Anyway, nothing good would happen to him. It was supposed to be a good dinner, but he made a scene in the hospital. It was almost 10 o'clock. She was so tired. Why are you back today? Don't you want to be a coward? Luli looked back at her and asked. Can't I go back to my own home? What coward? At least I don't stay in someone else's house. Tao Yuan put down her bag. He was an eyesore and she asked uncomfortably. Why are you still here? I'm leaving. Luli went back to the bedroom. After a while, he came out in casual clothes. His hair was just dry without any makeup. It lay softly on his forehead, without the seriousness of his usual formal clothes. He looked comfortable and at ease. He bent down and picked up his keys and wallet. Then he said to her, Let's go. Aren't you going to see Tao Yenran? I haven't had dinner yet. I'm going downstairs to have some porridge. From Lu Li's tone, it was a matter of course for her to accompany him. Why are you still standing there? I'm not going. If you want to go, go by yourself. Don't come back after dinner. I don't have the energy to quarrel with you tonight. As if I want to quarrel with you. Don't dawdle. Let's go. As he said, he grabbed her wrist and dragged her out. Tao Yuan was taken downstairs by force. She didn't look good. Lu Li, on the other hand, was in a good mood. The corners of his mouth were raised slightly. Even though he was sitting in a small restaurant, he still looked like he was in a high-class hotel. He was shining. Because of his existence, the style of the small restaurant seemed to be upgraded. The customers around them couldn't help looking at him. I know I'm good-looking, but you don't have to keep looking at me, right? I'm staring, not looking. You're almost 30 years old. Do you need someone to accompany you to eat noodles? Are you young? I like it. He directly replied with 3 words, so it became a very logical thing to do. Tao Yuan stared at him for a while and asked seriously. Can I ask you a question? Do you have a split personality disorder? When you were looking for trouble with me yesterday, you couldn't wait to kill me. Now you even want to eat porridge with me. What's going on in your head? Lu Li drank a mouthful of water. Compared to her serious expression, he seemed incomparably calm. Today I accidentally bumped into the old man from your department. He was with a young lady. It seems like his wife got the wrong person. What a coincidence. No matter how Tao Yuan listened, she felt that something was wrong. But was this considered clearing up the misunderstanding? So, he acted as if nothing had happened and acted as if nothing had happened yesterday? Oh, she wasn't as forgiving as he was, she said in a huff. That's not necessarily true. Maybe I'm not the mistress but the 4th or the 5th. You wish, but the girl is younger and prettier than you. What do you think he wants from you? Tao Yuan thought about it. I don't believe there's such a coincidence. You must be lying. I've sent someone to investigate him. Without waiting for her to ask, he straightforwardly said, so straightforwardly that Tao Yuan was stunned. Investigate? Yes, no matter what, you're still my wife. Of course, I have to investigate clearly. I won't wear this green hat for nothing. Tao Yuan really wanted to curse in her heart. How could he investigate someone else's privacy so naturally? And from his tone, she should be grateful to him. But she couldn't forget who was the one who watched her make a fool of herself, and who turned around and walked away. Was there any point in investigating after the fact? Anyway, her throat felt as if she had swallowed a fly, and she felt uncomfortable no matter what. She muttered. Hindsight, I didn't see you do anything at that time. Can you blame me? He has so many colleagues, why did you have to be caught as a mistress? You should reflect on yourself. If you had been more careful in your actions, would you have been misunderstood? I've already said that you're a butterfly who likes to flirt. Would a decent woman act like that? Tao Yuan turned around and was about to leave, but Lu Li pulled her back. What? You didn't do well and you're not happy to say it? I only said a few words and you turned around and left. Why are you so hot-tempered? I'm hot-tempered? Why don't you ask yourself why your mouth is so poisonous? Why should I be humiliated by you for no reason? Is it for no reason? There's a reason for it. That matter, I'm not ashamed? You think it's shameful? Then get a divorce. Tao Yinran is not ashamed. You can go and find her. Lu Li had been quite tolerant of her temper, but when she mentioned the word divorce, he felt uncomfortable and his too thick eyebrows furrowed. Can't you stop talking about divorce every time you open your mouth? Other than these two words, can't you say anything else? I have nothing else to say to you. Tao Yuan replied coldly. You're here, long time no see. The lady boss greeted them warmly. Mr. Lu, are you feeling better? Tao Yuan's heart skipped a beat, but she couldn't stop her, so she could only give her a look. But the lady boss was so infatuated that she didn't notice it at all. Instead, Lu Li saw the clue and asked, How do you know I'm sick? 2 days ago, your wife came in a hurry saying that she wanted to pack a porridge for you to the hospital, and we specially cut the queue for you. Your wife also specially told us to have less oil and salt, and to have a light taste. Tao Yuan wanted to die. And the depression in Lu Li's chest suddenly disappeared. It turned out that she came that day and she didn't forget. A trace of surprise oozed from his heart. This feeling was very strange to Lu Li, but he enjoyed it very much. Lu Li said when he was happy. After drinking your porridge, I'll be cured of any illness. His smiling eyes glanced at Tao Yuan meaningfully. Haha, Mr. Lu is really good at talking. I'll give you a 20% discount today as usual. Or the usual lily porridge? Yes. Where's Mrs. Lu? I don't need it, thank you. The lady boss left and Tao Yuan kept her head down, not wanting to see Lu Li's smug face. But she didn't drink water naturally, nor did she do anything naturally. She cleared her throat. Well, she opened her mouth but didn't know how to explain. Anyway, saying more would just be a cover-up. Where's my porridge? I drank it myself. Oh? Didn't you specially buy it for me? Originally, but when I went out, I thought of the traffic jam, so I was too lazy to go, so I took it home and drank it myself. Tao Yuan continued to be stubborn, her eyes drifting. Can't you show some acting skills when you lie? You don't even dare to look into my eyes, who can you fool? Lu Li teased her, the corners of his mouth almost reaching his ears. Who lied to you? I drank it myself. I want you to tell the truth. When he was serious, his voice was very authoritative, and Tao Yuan couldn't help but open her mouth. I went that day and Tao Yinran was there. You don't have to act. You asked me to send porridge over, didn't you want me to see you two being intimate? But you didn't achieve your goal and I didn't feel anything at all. Do you think I planned it? Wanted to humiliate you again? Didn't you? Anyway, it's the second time and I'm used to it. I want to say, can you please change something new? Don't you feel annoyed using the same trick every time? If I say that I didn't know Tao Yinran would come, would you believe it? Lu Li persistently waited for her answer, but Tao Yuan shook her head seriously. Of course not. This time it was Lu Li's turn to be speechless. He originally wanted to say, believe it or not, he didn't care. But at that time he didn't know what was wrong with him, so he emphasized. I didn't lie to you, I really didn't know. Are you trying to explain to me? There's no need. I said, it doesn't matter whether it's true or not, I don't care at all. Are you angry with me? No, do I look like I'm angry? I'm just stating a fact. I've already given you to Tao Yinran. Do you think I care how intimate you two are? I can't wait for you to stick with her 24 hours a day and not bother me. What do you mean by giving you to others? This statement made Lu Li uncomfortable. Am I a thing? Are you not a thing? What a sharp tongue. Lu Li thought bitterly. If he didn't pull out her sharp teeth, he would write his name upside down. The porridge was soon served. Lu Li ate the porridge and Tao Yuan lowered her head to play with her mobile phone. A few minutes later, the ignored person's face slowly sank. Don't you know that it's very impolite to play with your mobile phone in front of others? No matter how impolite it is, it's not as impolite as forcing others to accompany you. Why do I have to watch you drink? When she answered, she still did not raise her head. Which wild man are you texting with? None of your business. She looked up. Don't emphasize that you are my husband again. We are now in a semi-divorce state. We play our own games and don't care about each other. What do you mean by semi-divorce? I signed the divorce agreement, and you are the only one left. If I don't sign it, it's a piece of waste paper. Divorce no way. Seeing that she was in a hurry to say something, Luli interrupted. To be honest, I'm in a good mood now. You'd better not provoke me. Tao Yuan pouted and did not say anything. It was not that she was afraid of him, but she knew his personality too well. If he did not want a divorce, then no matter what she said, it would be nonsense. There was no need to waste her breath. The bowl of porridge took nearly an hour. When the two left the restaurant, it was already 10 o'clock. Tao Yuan walked behind and complained in a low voice. It's so troublesome. Can't you do it yourself? I wanted to work overtime. So slow? Hurry up and keep up. You have long legs. You go first. Don't worry about me. She deliberately walked slower, hoping to keep a distance from him. But Luli turned back and walked side by side with her. In the dance room, Tao Yinran was dancing ballet to the music. Her slender figure and elegant dance made her look like a proud and dangerous black swan, elegant and noble. Compared with the pure white swan, the white swan she played was more mysterious and full of charm. Ouyang Shua came in, leaned against the porch and quietly watched her dance. The dancing Tao Yinran was the most charming Tao Yinran. That kind of wildness occasionally made his heart stop beating. Any man would be eager to conquer this dangerous and wild woman. Chapter 5:15. After she finished her ballet, he walked over, pulled her into his arms and danced the Viennese waltz with her. In the smooth and gorgeous grave of boredom, the two of them spun, rose, turned, swayed, tilted and spun around. Their dance was passionate and unrestrained. Ouyang Shua pressed her into his chest with his big hand and murmured in her ear. You're so calm? Aren't you going to look for your Luli? It's not good to be too proactive with a man. Waiting for the fish to take the bait is the best strategy. I'm not like you. I like to take the initiative. Ouyang Shua's eyes flashed with the danger of a ferocious bird. Once he set his eyes on his prey, it would be impossible to escape. It's been a few days, why hasn't he come to look for you? Although he didn't come, I'm sure he's thinking about me. I'm always in his dreams. She was immersed in that kind of longing, and a happy smile appeared on her lips. The two of them spun around passionately, and Tao Yinran returned to Ouyang Shua's arms. I advise you not to be too confident. As far as I know, he's been with his wife these days. Tao Yinran's dance paused for a moment, but she quickly followed up. Maybe they're talking about a divorce. I don't think so. He's been looking for her and they're in the hospital now. Tao Yinran sneered. Is that bitch going to die? It's Luli. What's wrong with him? Don't be nervous. It's just acute gastroenteritis. Ouyang Shua's lips twitched coldly, and his feminine face exuded a strange glow. Do you feel sorry for him? He's my man, of course I feel sorry for him. But at this time the one accompanying him is Tao Yuan, not you. Are you sure he's your man? He will be soon and he will always be. Tao Yinran struggled out of his arms, walked quickly to the side and took out some water to drink. What? You're not happy that I'm telling you the truth? Aren't you very confident? Are you afraid? What am I afraid of? A few years ago Tao Yuan couldn't compete with me. Now she still can't compete with me. But Luli hasn't contacted you, and that's not a good sign. Not to mention that he was conflicted, he had a lot of worries. Based on my understanding of men, if a man wants to find you, he will definitely find you. You won't think too much. Since he hasn't taken action yet, I can only say that he doesn't want to contact you. Tao Yinran was also a little worried at first, but at this moment, Ouyang Shua's words magnified her worries and she frowned. But he still loves me. I'm sure of that. Even if he loves you, what's the use if he doesn't take action? From what I can see, he is now being conquered by Tao Yuan step by step. Ouyang Shua narrowed his eyes. After all, she is a very attractive woman. Tao Yinran snorted heavily and said with some jealousy. How charming. More attractive than me? What? Are you jealous? Ouyang Shua pinched her chin and caressed her skin, his lips almost touching hers. At such a close distance, the strong charisma emanating from his body made Tao Yinran's body tremble. Don't worry, my heart belongs to you. How can she be compared to you? Of course, she can't even compare to one of my fingers. She's just better at pretending now than a few years ago. She's still a pitiful person. Tao Yinran pushed his hand away. What I mean is, since it's useless to wait for her, it's better to take the initiative and seize the opportunity. Take the initiative? Won't that be too rushed? Tao Yinran was a little worried. It had always been men who surrounded her like flies, and she didn't need to take the initiative at all. If you think of it this way, the less time you spend with him, the more Tao Yuan will occupy him. Are you willing to let your man be with the woman you hate the most? Tao Yinran was provoked by Tao Yinran's words. Yes, she couldn't create opportunities for Tao Yuan for nothing. She made up her mind. I know what to do, you should hurry up and act. If you can't even handle Tao Yuan, don't come looking for me again. As it was almost time to get off work, Lin Wei ran in excitedly. Team leader, there's a department event tonight. We're going to a buffet, are you coming? The company is treating. Sure, where are we going? New Ocean View, a 5-star seafood buffet, 400 per person, isn't the company generous? Yeah, company welfare is great. Then I'll hitch a ride with you later. No problem. After work, when everyone was about to leave, Tao Yuan suddenly remembered that she had promised Lu Li to send him porridge. She could only apologize to Lin Wei. Of course, Lin Wei was disappointed. What's more important than a feast? Can't we go after dinner? No, really, it's very important. What's so important? Xiao? Yeah. Lin Wei rolled her eyes. Tieske, he was like that last time, why should you care about him? I thought he had turned over a new leaf, but he tricked you. That's too much, just ignore him. Tao Yuan wanted to say that she didn't want to care either, but she had no choice. You guys go, I'll treat you to dinner another day. She hurried to the porridge shop. It was after work and traffic was already bad, plus there was a car accident in front, so it was even harder to move. Looking at the time, it was already 7 p.m., that young master must still be waiting for her, right? If she didn't get to eat so late, he would probably throw a tantrum again. The time was 7 p.m. Lu Li read the newspaper twice, but there was still no sign of Tao Yuan. He couldn't help but call Zhou Xingyang. Madam? I'm not sure where she is, but I heard that their department organized a seafood dinner and everyone attended. She should be there too. Lu Li's face darkened. That woman was going to leave him alone just for a seafood dinner? Could it be that he couldn't even compare to a seafood dinner? If she wanted to eat, wouldn't he treat her? Or she didn't even want to come today and agreed to it last night was just to brush him off, just to get rid of him earlier. The more Lu Li thought about it, the more he felt that he had been tricked. He wanted to call her, but he couldn't bring himself to do it. Just as he was about to explode, there was a knock on the door. You still know to come. He glared at the door, but it wasn't Tao Yuan. Tao Yinran was holding a bouquet of flowers, standing there beautifully. His angry face suddenly froze. Why are you here? I have an old classmate who works here, she said she saw you, so I came to visit you. I hope I'm not disturbing you? Lu Li shook his head. Tao Yinran came in with the bouquet and put it on the bedside table. Why are you alone? Where is she? At the hotel. She loves you so much, I thought she would stay in the hospital to take care of you. But this is good, lest she misunderstands. Tao Yinran pulled a chair, sat on the edge of the bed and crossed her legs. I thought you had left. Well, something came up, so I stayed in the country for a few more days. She was still breathtakingly beautiful, which was good. However, Lu Li still couldn't help thinking of many bad memories. After all, he had let her down, and those feelings of guilt would naturally come out from his heart, making him not know how to face her. How have you been these years? Do you mean work or love? If it's work, it's been very smooth. You know, beauty is an advantage in the workplace and people around you will take the initiative to help you, especially men. As for love, a flower-like smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. I'm married. The unexpected news gave Lu Li a heavy blow, and his eyes suddenly tightened. His face tightened, showing a trace of anger. Tao Yinran teased. Can you call your expression angry now? Your ex-girlfriend is getting married, but the groom is not you and you're jealous? Disappointed? Lu Li must be disappointed, and he was angry at himself. However, before he could explain this feeling, Tao Yinran smiled again. I'm kidding, I'm still single. Lu Li frowned. She had been like this since the beginning. She liked to tease people and liked to make people nervous. She was a seductress that people loved and hated. Are you angry? I lied to you, but it's better than me getting married, right? Tao Yinran smiled slyly and blinked her eyes like a fox. Besides, if I didn't test you, how would I know that you're still so worried about me? This kind of joke is not funny. Lu Li said coldly with a sullen face. But it was undeniable that he was greatly relieved. Oh, you're still as bad at jokes as before. But, seeing that you're worried about me, I'll forgive you. She quietly flirted with him, but did not cross the boundary. She had been very smart and secretly grasped it. After all, she was a veteran in the field of love. She was a very resourceful woman who could tease a man's heart, but she would never appear to be too frivolous. To be honest, during those years abroad, although there were many pursuers, I was always single. No matter how good the conditions were, I didn't feel anything. I think that's because you've been deeply rooted in my heart. With such an excellent ex like you, no matter how good the others are, they're just making do. I also thought that I might not meet a better man than you in my life. Sooner or later I'll have to make do, so I might as well make do one day earlier. But I really can't do it. There's no room for another person in my heart. In the ward, the two sat face to face. Lu Li's face was still a little haggard, but Tao Yinran was dressed up as beautiful as a peach, and her eyes were alluring, like a female leopard ready to hunt at any time. There was no doubt that she was a coquettish and ambitious woman. Not waiting for his answer, she smiled first. Oh, I don't make you feel pressured by saying this, right? I don't mean anything else, and I don't have any other expectations. I just want to tell you what's in my heart. Don't think too much, I'm not going to pester you. However, based on Lu Li's understanding of her, the fact that she could say something like this was enough to prove that she still loved him and still had hope for their future. But, the more it was so, the more he couldn't make a mistake. He forced himself to calm down and said coldly, "When will you go back?" "I don't know, in 2 days. After I leave, I don't know when we can meet again. If there's someone worthy of me asking me to stay, maybe I'll consider staying." Chapter 5:16. However, what she didn't expect, or what Lu Li himself didn't expect, was that he actually said, "I'm already married." The atmosphere was extremely heavy. Even Tao Yinran's face froze. After a long time, she squeezed out a smile unnaturally. "Of course I know. Do you think I'll be your mistress? But does this marriage really mean anything to you? If your wife is someone else, I'll still ask you if your marriage is happy. But the other party is Tao Yuan, which is already destined to be a tragedy. I don't even need to ask. You won't forget how she broke us up, how she killed us." Tao Yinran stopped at this point, her voice trembling violently. "Forget it, we said not to mention that." Her smile was very forced. "You won't be happy with her. Of course, I won't be anyone's mistress. What I want is a unique love, and marriage is the same." Such emphasis had made her feel a little embarrassed, so she hurriedly changed the topic. "Oh, I almost forgot. I bought porridge. Do you remember? It's the old store at the back door of the school. You used to like to eat their lean meat porridge." Tao Yinran opened the lid, and a strong aroma filled the ward. Lu Li said, "Thank you," and reached out to take it, but Tao Yinran withdrew her hand. "I'll feed you." Before he refused, she said coquettishly, "Please, you used to take care of me. Let me experience the feeling of taking care of a patient, okay?" When she was coquettish, Lu Li always had no way to stop her. Just like now, even if he wanted to resist, he couldn't say those words, which meant that he acquiesced. Tao Yinran was very happy. She scooped a spoonful of porridge, blew on it to make it warm, and put it into his mouth. "How is it? Is it delicious? Or the same taste?" "Yes. That's why I say things from the past are better, including feelings." She only mentioned this one sentence and did not continue. Instead, she began to reminisce about the past. "I remember once, Tao Yuan bought me a sesame bun, causing me to have an allergic reaction and be hospitalized. At that time, I thought she didn't do it on purpose. Now that I think about it, the person she had a crush on was snatched away by me. How much must she hate me? It's already good enough that she didn't put rat poison in it. She must have done it on purpose. But it's all in the past now, so there's nothing to look into. You just have to learn how to read people." Lu Li thought to himself, yes, this is her Tao Yuan. Perhaps she didn't transform into this thorny appearance. Those thorns were originally in her bones. If she was tortured, no one else would have a good time either. It was he who thought too highly of her. In fact, that woman had never been a good person. In the eyes of outsiders, Tao Yinran was heartless and capricious. But at this time, when he was lying in the ward, the person by his side was her. However, neither of them noticed that Tao Yuan was standing behind the door. Even she did not expect to see such a scene when she rushed over in a hurry after buying the porridge. Was this the reason why he asked her to bring dinner over? No wonder he didn't look for Tao Yinran when she asked him to. It turned out that he wanted to humiliate her again. When he was sick, of course, he needed the person he loved to be by his side. Who was she? She was the culprit who caused him to be hospitalized. He probably hated her to the core. "Ha, Tao Yuan, you've been fooled again." She tried to smile in relief. She didn't care at all. As long as she didn't care, no matter what they did, they wouldn't be able to hurt her. Hadn't she forgotten about this before? It was obvious that she didn't care about him. The reason why she hurried over was because she didn't want him to lose his temper again. She just looked at them. What a pair of dogs. Tao Yuan thought of Pan Chi's vicious words, bitch with dog forever. It was just right to use it at this moment. She was waiting to see what would happen to a fickle seductress who was full of lies and a selfish, heartless demon. Tao Yuan sneered and swaggered off, throwing the porridge into the trash can on the way. Tao Yinran slowly fed him a bowl of porridge and wiped the corners of Lu Li's mouth with a tissue. She was very close to him when she was doing these things. Her long hair slid over his cheek, and the faint fragrance drilled into the tip of Lu Li's nose. It stirred his mind and he couldn't help it. But just as he closed his eyes to feel the warmth of her skin, Tao Yinran pulled away again. The two chatted for a while. Seeing that it was getting late, Tao Yinran was about to leave. Why are you looking at me like that? Can't bear to? She was hinting at him to ask her to stay. Lu Li was indeed reluctant, but he couldn't say it out loud. I'm leaving in 2 days. How about having dinner the day after tomorrow? Don't be so stingy. After all, I came to the hospital to take care of you today. Can't you have dinner with me? Her soft tone had a hint of coquettishness. In the end, Lu Li compromised. Okay. I'll use the same number. I'll contact you the day after tomorrow. With that, Tao Yinran smiled sweetly and left gracefully. Lu Li was lost in thought for a long time about Tao Yinran and Tao Yuan. At noon the next day, Tao Yuan met Lu Li in the company's cafeteria. He was still sitting by the window. Although he was bathed in the sun, he was like an iceberg, exuding a cold aura. His face was cold and aloof, making people afraid to get close to him. It seemed that the whole world owed him. Tao Yuan walked over with a glass of juice, smiling gently and slyly. You're discharged so soon? Why didn't you tell me to pick you up? Would you? Cold mockery. Tao Yuan tilted her head and thought about it seriously. Then she showed a beautiful smile. I wouldn't. Lu Li sneered. She really didn't hide her cold-bloodedness at all. Such a savage woman was hateful no matter how he looked at it. He knew that he shouldn't mention what happened last night. But he couldn't help it. He tried to ask in the most indifferent manner. Did you forget something last night? Last night? No, we went to dinner in our department. We had a good time eating seafood. The welfare of the company is getting better and better. There's seafood for 400 people. You can eat whatever you want. There's hairy crabs sashimi. His eyes became colder and colder. Tao Yuan pretended to be enlightened and covered her mouth halfway. I forgot to bring you porridge. I'm so sorry. She could imagine that her exaggerated expression must be extremely pretentious. But she just had to make him hate her. She wanted to let him know that she was not a pushover. She was not afraid of acting. Are you sure you forgot it? Lu Li snorted. No matter how hard he tried, his face was already very ugly. Tao Yuan took a sip of juice and answered frankly. Well, I didn't want to go at all. She didn't feel guilty at all. So you're just lying to me? It's normal. Men can lie even if they keep their promises, let alone women. Haven't you heard of the saying that women are all liars? It's a woman's privilege to go back on her words. I've made it very clear yesterday that I don't want to go. It's you who forced me to go. In order to get away, I had to be perfunctory with you. Since you know how to lie, you should be prepared to be lied to. So you're taking revenge on me? The smile on Lu Li's face was a bit cold. Not really. If you insist on thinking that way, I'm just giving you a taste of your own medicine. But you have so many women. If I don't send you there, you won't starve to death. Aren't you sitting here? Tao Yuan, you're really amazing. These words were squeezed out from the gaps of his teeth. Ah, same to you. When it comes to playing with people's feelings, how can I compare to you, Master Lu? There was still a bit of resentment in Tao Yuan's tone. She was not a dead person. She had been played by him and Tao Yinran together once. It was impossible that she didn't feel anything. It was impossible that she didn't speak with a little sarcasm. Her mentality was not that good. I played with your feelings? Last night, she obviously played with him, but she actually made a false accusation. She was really a thief crying thief. It's not the first time you've played this kind of trick. Don't pretend that you don't know. I may not be as shrewd or scheming as you are, but I'm definitely not as stupid as you think. I don't even know that I've been played. Tao Yuan tried to speak in the calmest tone. I just think that this kind of trick is boring. It's just a waste of each other's time to drag it on. We're all adults. If there's anything, we can solve it directly. If we can't solve it in private, then let the court solve it. There's no need to play so many tricks behind my back. I used to think that I'm a piece of chicken rib, tasteless, but you don't want others to take advantage of you. But now, I'm not even a piece of chicken rib. I'm just a toy for you to vent. However, I'm not that easy to deal with. Just come at me. I'm not afraid of you. Looking at her righteous face, was she declaring war on him? It seemed that he was still too kind to her. It was time to teach her a lesson. After work, a group of colleagues from the business department went to D Hao Hotel to sing karaoke. The group of people were divided into several groups. They ate and sang. They played Jiangnan style, the hottest family style, and Little Apple. The atmosphere was lively. In such an environment, Tao Yuan temporarily forgot about her troubles and mingled with her subordinates. Life was so beautiful. Why should she find trouble? When it was time to play, she should play to her heart's content. She didn't want those annoying things to affect her happiness. Lin Wei insisted that she sing. With a group of people jeering, Tao Yuan chose the song Perfume is Toxic. It was also the man I loved deeply. When I became the world's dumbest woman, I would take everything he said seriously. He said that he loved my lips the most. He didn't have high expectations of me and treated me as well as before. But one day you said the same thing and hugged someone else. This song was also a story of love turning into hate. Every time Tao Yuan sang it, she felt the same way. Especially after Lu Li created the illusion of gentleness, then turned around and humiliated her with Tao Yanran, that feeling was especially strong. Closing her eyes, many memories of the past appeared in front of her. The more she sang, the more immersed she became. It was as if the people around her no longer existed. There was only this song. There was only this song. There was only her uncomplaining love, only her humble feelings. Chapter 5:17. You have the scent of her perfume on you, it's my sin, I shouldn't have smelled her beauty, I gave up everything to sleep with you, you have the scent of her perfume on you, it's your inferiority complex. Your love is too perfect, I'll never be able to learn it. When the song ended, Tao Yuan's eyes were slightly moist, she looked at the others, they were all intoxicated by her singing. Everyone knew about her past with Lu Li, they must have sympathized with her, but Tao Yuan did not need their sympathy, she did not even want anyone to think that she was sad for Lu Li. Tao Yuan wasn't the one who was too weak. Without a man, her life was still exciting. No, it was even more exciting. They all frowned and felt sorry for her, but she herself laughed. I already said I won't sing anymore, my voice is too beautiful, once I sing you all feel ashamed, right? Lin Wei understood what she meant and started to jeer. Isn't that right? Sister Yuan, your singing is too good, you should join Supergirl, we can be your support group. Will it be too old for me to go? Of course not. You said that people would believe it even if they were 18, don't you think so? Yes. Manager, one more song. It was almost midnight after the karaoke. Tao Yuan was in a good mood and drank a lot. On the way back, she found that she had left her coat at the hotel, so she asked the driver to go back to get it. She did not expect to meet Lao Liang at the elevator. Lao Liang looked a little nervous. Why are you back? I forgot to take my coat, you too? Yes, my car keys are missing, so I came back to look for them. Lao Liang laughed awkwardly, his eyes drifting, he looked very guilty. Although Tao Yuan was a little tipsy, she could feel that something was wrong with him. Just as they were about to enter the elevator, they heard a shout behind them. You actually brought a vixen to get a room. Before Tao Yuan could react to what was going on, a hand grabbed her hair from behind and pulled hard. Tears almost fell from her eyes. Why? Lao Liang turned pale with fright. Why are you here? I heard from my friend that I met you and another woman in a hotel. I didn't believe it, but I didn't expect you to have the guts. I work so hard and I have to take care of my child. You, on the other hand, find me a mistress. Are you even human? Lao Liang's wife was a policewoman who was terrifyingly strong. In addition, Tao Yuan was drunk and her hair was pulled by her, so she couldn't resist for a while. Sister-in-law, you've misunderstood. Lao Liang and I are just colleagues. Ah, sister-in-law? Who is your sister-in-law? The woman wanted to slap Tao Yuan but was stopped by Lao Liang. Honey, don't be like this. This is my colleague. We don't have that kind of relationship. We just finished singing karaoke. Then why are there only two of you? Where are the others? Do you think I'm a fool? It's really a misunderstanding. Honey, don't be like this, let's go home first. Get lost, I must kill this vixen today. She's so young but she stole someone else's husband. Shameless B*TC. A group of people surrounded them and laughed at Tao Yuan, the B*TCH. She was wearing high heels and stumbled. Her scalp was about to be torn off. It hurt so much, but his wife didn't listen to their explanations and the three of them were tangled together. At this time Tao Yuan saw two familiar faces in the crowd. A cold face stared at her in disdain, while the other face was as beautiful as a peach, but it was filled with schadenfreude. Luli and Tao Yanran. They stood together like ordinary onlookers watching the scene coldly. Ali, Tao Yuan wanted him to help her, to tell that woman that she was his wife, not a mistress. But his eyes were colder than anyone else's, and they pierced into her heart like a sharp knife. He was watching the show. He and Tao Yanran were laughing at her. Everything disappeared and became still. Tao Yuan could only hear her own heavy breathing. She only felt that the two figures were constantly enlarging, rotating, and turning into ferocious demons. What? Why did they appear at the most embarrassing time? What? Tao Yuan struggled hard. Luli couldn't tell what he was feeling at this moment. His woman was being treated as a mistress by another man, and she was being humiliated. There were two voices in his body. One was saying, "You know her character, she can't be a mistress." But the other voice said, "You don't know this woman at all. She deserves all the humiliation she is suffering now." The two voices were fighting fiercely. But Luli still couldn't watch her get hurt like this. He couldn't help but take a step forward. "Don't go." Tao Yanran took his hand. "Don't go. Let's go." He hesitated for a moment, but finally let her pull him away. Tao Yuan completely gave up. The conflict continued to escalate. Seeing a slap coming towards Tao Yuan's face, Lao Liang pushed his wife away. "Enough. Stop it." She looked at him sadly, her eyes were red. "You're still protecting her." "Yes, I did have an affair but not with her. Tao Yuan is really just my colleague. She's married and I don't have any improper thoughts about her. It's another woman." "You're lying to me. Things have already come to this, why should I lie to you? Tonight, our department has a gathering, and I made an appointment with her to meet in this hotel. But I didn't expect Tao Yuan to suddenly come back. We just bumped into each other at the elevator. That's it, I'll swear if you want me to." Only then did the woman let go of Tao Yuan, and rushed over to grab Lao Liang's clothes and pulled hard, shouting, "Which vixen is it? Tell me, tell me. Let's go back and talk." Lao Liang frowned and looked at Tao Yuan apologetically. "I'm sorry you've been wronged. I'll explain it to you later." He was too ashamed to stay any longer and pulled his wife away. In the restaurant, Luli was silent for a long time, his brows knitted tightly together, and he looked at the red wine. Tao Yanran was in a good mood, and the corners of her mouth were raised happily, making her look even more beautiful. She held the wine glass in her hand and gently swirled it. "This taste is very mellow, don't you want to try it?" Luli picked up the wine glass, tilted his head back and downed it. "Do you know what I'm thinking?" Tao Yanran narrowed her eyes, and when she smiled, it always made people think of a beautiful fox. "I'm thinking, should I invite you for another drink after dinner tonight? Otherwise you wouldn't have seen the farce just now. Aren't you happy?" Luli was in a bad mood. At this moment Tao Yanran's tone sounded a little sarcastic, and it made him uncomfortable. "Actually, I'm very curious, did you already know that she was a mistress, or did you just find out? You don't seem to be unfamiliar with that man. I'm really surprised. Tao Yuan used to love you so much that she wanted to die. I have no doubt that if you asked her to die, she would not hesitate to die in front of you. But now she has been reduced to being a mistress for a middle-aged man, and was even caught by his wife. How sad. Indeed, desperate women are the most terrible and they can do anything. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. She was caught in the hotel, how could it be a misunderstanding? To be honest, I sympathize with her. It's pitiful enough to be a mistress and to be a mistress for such a bad man, TSK. What kind of life has she had? Don't talk about this, I don't want to hear it. I can understand how you feel, no matter how much you hate her, she is still Mrs. Liu. You must feel embarrassed to do such a shameful thing outside. But think about it from another perspective, isn't this better? If she cheats, you will be able to get a divorce on your own. I believe that even your father can't stop you." Luli did not say anything and poured another glass of red wine. His temples were throbbing and his nerves were hurting. A ball of fire was burning wildly in his chest, burning him to the point of discomfort. The scene of Tao Yuan being grabbed by the hair kept replaying in his mind. He was angry and pitiful at the same time. The feelings were intertwined and it was extremely complicated. Tao Yanran was best at reading people's expressions, and she knew when to stop. At this point she knew it was time to stop and smiled again. All right, let's not talk about those unappetizing topics, it's affecting our mood to catch up. I'm going back in 2 days and I'll miss you. She gazed at Lu Li gently with her charming eyes, waiting for his response. If he wanted to sleep with her tonight, how could she reject him? She would not let him get away with it so easily. However, after one glass, Lu Li stood up and said with some irritation, "Let's go." Tao Yinran was very disappointed and she forced a smile. Pan Chi was in the middle of playing games when the doorbell rang, and she ran to open the door. "Didn't I give you the key? I'm still playing and you almost killed me. Damn, thank goodness I'm not dead." Tao Yuan entered the door and fell directly on the sofa. She had just been violently pulled, and now her scalp was hurting badly, and she must have lost a lot of her hair. How unlucky, why did she leave her coat in the private room? If she hadn't gone back to get it, this wouldn't have happened. She was also very shocked that Lao Liang cheated. It seemed that it had been a while, but she had been with him every day, so she didn't notice it at all. It could be said that Lao Liang was the model husband in her heart. Usually, wherever he went on a business trip, he would think of bringing gifts for his children and wife. There was no activity in the company and they all went home on time. But she didn't expect that a seemingly honest person would also cheat. What was true now? Marriage was a joke. Why don't you say anything? Shouldn't you be very high after singing karaoke? Pan Chi stared intently at the screen. Tao Yuan closed her eyes and didn't say anything. The scene of Lu Li watching her coldly appeared in her mind, and Tao Yinran was standing next to him. Her husband and the three of them were watching her make a fool of herself. Was there anything more embarrassing than this? She knew that Lu Li wouldn't help her, and he couldn't wait to see her make a fool of herself. But she couldn't help feeling a little disappointed and angry. No matter what, she was still his wife. How could he be so cold? Was his heart really not made of flesh? She couldn't explain the complicated feelings at the moment, and her heart was sour. Say something, what's wrong? Tired? I drank too much and my head hurts. You know you can't drink, but you still drink. You deserve it. I'll make you a cup of tea after this game. How much longer? Not long, about 30 minutes. Forget it, I'll do it myself. Chapter 5:18. Tao Yuan boiled water, made tea and sipped it. She was in a daze when the doorbell rang. Who is it this time? Why so many people? Pan Chi shouted in the living room. Go and open the door. Oh, Tao Yuan said and was about to open the door, but she felt something was wrong. She looked through the peephole and saw Lu Li. His heart skipped a beat. Why did he come? Why don't you open the door? It's Lu Li. Damn, what is that bastard doing here? Looking for trouble with you again? Should keep your voice down. Let's pretend we're not here. He'll leave soon if no one answers him. Tao Yuan had such expectations, but 10 minutes passed and the doorbell was still ringing. The other party had no intention of leaving and began to smash the door with his fists. Damn, I'm dead. It's all his fault. Pan Chi jumped up from the chair in anger. Is there something wrong with his brain? What's wrong with him in the middle of the night? Ignore him, he'll leave soon. Impossible. If I don't open the door today, he'll tear the roof off my house, believe it or not. Tao Yuan hesitated. Then I'll go into the room to hide. Tell him I'm not here and send him away. As soon as Pan Chi opened the door, Lu Li was smashing the door with his fists. If he hadn't stopped in time, his fist would have hit Pan Chi's face. Hey boss Lu, you have nothing to do after dinner in the middle of the night, so you're banging on our doorbell? You've been banging for more than 10 minutes. What's the point? Pan Chi said sarcastically. Lu Li didn't pay attention to her. He just kept going in with a dark face. Hey. Boss Lu, what do you mean by barging in without saying a word? Pan Chi stood in front of him and put her hand against his chest. You have to give me an explanation. I'm looking for Tao Yuan. Get out of my way. Lu Li hated Pan Chi to the core. Now that he was in a bad mood, his tone became even more irritable. Aren't you Yuan Yuan's husband? You don't know where she is, yet you barged in here to ask for her? What kind of logic was this? Could it be that you can't even control your wife? Cut the crap and move aside. This is my house. It's already very impolite of you to act like this. Why should I get out of the way? Yuan Yuan isn't here right now. Please go back. Pan Chi pushed him out, but Lu Li brushed her hand away. He didn't use much strength, but Pan Chi staggered back a few steps and screamed. You actually hit a woman? Are you still a man? Lu Li rolled his eyes. He had never seen such a shameless woman before. No wonder she could hang out with Tao Yuan. Both of them were not easy to deal with. He walked past her and strode inside. Pan Chi kept stopping him. Get out. Get out. If you don't get out, I'll call the police. Are you a barbarian? Luli, this is my house. Stop with me, do you hear me? Bang! The door was pushed open. Tao Yuan stood there helplessly. But the moment he barged in, she pretended to be calm and met his gaze. Right now, he was like a ferocious leopard, ready to eat her up at any moment. Get out? Pan Chi was still trying to push him out. She and Luli had only been together a few times, but she was already irritated by his overbearing and barbaric behavior. She couldn't imagine how Tao Yuan could tolerate such a person. If it were her, she would either commit suicide or kill him. Anyway, he would have driven her crazy long ago. Tao Yuan knew that she couldn't avoid him since he had already chased her here. So she went to pull Pan Chi away. You go out first. No, if I go, this bastard will bully you to death. I say, Luli, you are the president of Lu Enterprises, a prestigious figure. It won't look good for you to be accused of trespassing. Isn't Tao Yanran back? Why are you not busy rolling on the bed with her? Why are you picking on Yuan? Are you crazy? Pan Chi scolded him, but Luli just stared at Tao Yuan without saying a word. Obviously, she was the only one he was willing to talk to. Otherwise, he wouldn't bother to say another word. It's okay. I can handle it. Tao Yuan just wanted to solve this matter as soon as possible. After a few words of persuasion, Pan Chi reluctantly agreed to leave. I'll be outside. Call me if you need anything. When Pan Chi went out, there were only two people in the room. Tao Yuan tried to maintain a calm facade. She took off her coat and took out her pajamas from the wardrobe. What's the matter? I'm going to take a shower. I'm very sleepy. Shouldn't you give me an explanation for what happened just now? What? I don't know what you're talking about. You're still playing dumb. Luli swore. You were treated as a threesome. Tao Yuan had been holding back, but his words sounded so harsh that she lost her calmness. What right do you have to question me? What right do you have? Because I'm your husband. However, Tao Yuan felt that it was even more ironic when she said it. Are you my husband? Why didn't I know? You didn't care when it happened just now. You just turned around and left like a stranger. What right do you have to keep asking questions now? I thought you didn't care? Do you think I should be embarrassed with you? Oh yes, you want to be shameless. Luli's face is more important than anything else. I'm a shameless b*tc. I deserve to be beaten on the street, okay? Isn't this the answer you want? You can go now. She wanted to go into the bathroom, but Luli snatched her clothes and threw them aside. Don't try to brush me off with these words. I want an explanation. This is my explanation. Are you satisfied? That man was the one at the company last time, right? Didn't you say that you were just colleagues? Then why were you caught in the act? Tell me clearly. There's nothing to say. Tao Yuan was already very upset after being wronged. If he yelled at her again, it was simply challenging her bottom line. What she couldn't stand was that he had just left her alone and now he was asking questions again. He was a pervert. What's with your attitude? My attitude is the same as yours. Don't tell me that I should smile and thank you for your concern when you're making trouble for no reason and making a fuss? Am I that cheap in your eyes? Sorry, I can't do it. Since you left with Tao Yanran at that time, my affairs have nothing to do with you. What do you mean nothing? Luli had enough of her cold words and took a step forward. You are my wife. How can a husband sit by and do nothing when his wife is being beaten on the street? What kind of husband is that? He's not even a man. You're blaming me for the scandal you did? Luli sneered. His eyes narrowed even tighter and emitted a cold light. Did I force you to have an affair and cause you to be beaten up? Yes, it's my scandal. I humiliated myself as a mistress. Is that enough? I've already said that it's my fault. No matter what, I'll admit it. You want to meddle in other people's business? Do you have nothing better to do? Luli was about to explode with anger. He had never seen someone who was so righteous after doing something wrong. He came to find her because he wanted her to give him a reasonable explanation that he subconsciously wanted to believe her. But she treated him like an enemy and said something to anger him. Even a dead person would be angered to death by her. Is it fun to be angry with me like this? Who's angry with you? I don't have that much time. Tao Yuan snorted and laughed. It's getting late. Go back and don't let that Miss Tao wait. After watching my farce tonight, shouldn't you have a lot of jokes to share? Do you think I'm watching you make a joke? Isn't that so? I think you're enjoying yourself. Why must you be so ungrateful? Luli was suppressing the urge to tear her apart every second. Can't you speak properly? You don't look like you're speaking properly. I've made you a cuckold and you're here to settle the score. This isn't a situation where you can speak properly, right? But I'm very tired today. I don't want to argue with you and I really don't have the mood to deal with you. If there's anything, can we talk about it tomorrow? Anyway, you Luli are so capable. No matter how I jump, I won't be able to escape from your palm. You can settle the score anytime, but it doesn't have to be today. Don't you think so? Tao Yuan's tone, attitude and righteousness made Luli furious. I'm here to settle the score with you and you want me to reschedule? Since when is it your turn to pick a date? Do I need you to teach me how to do things? His attitude became more and more unreasonable. Today you must give me an explanation. Why are you so annoying? Then if I say that it's a misunderstanding, do you believe me? So many people don't misunderstand. Why did they misunderstand you? Your excuse is too lousy. You see, you don't believe me at all. Then why ask me? Do you know what you're doing? I admit that I'm the mistress, but you want me to explain. I said that it's a misunderstanding, but you don't believe me. What do you want me to say? Can I say what you said just once? I want you to tell the truth. This is the truth. It's up to you to believe it or not. Tao Yuan's patience had been completely exhausted by him. If you're not leaving, I'll leave. But he grabbed her wrist. This time, Tao Yuan reacted quickly and wanted to escape, but his movements were even more agile. He pushed her against the wall. Her scalp was already very painful, and the back of her head was hit hard. Tao Yuan's vision suddenly turned black and she almost fainted from the pain. She was trapped in the corner and was still in a state of dizziness when he grabbed her chin. Are you that cheap? Tao Yuan gritted her teeth and glared at him hatefully. It's not enough to cheat on me and now you're a mistress? How can you be so cheap? Yes, I'm that cheap. But no matter how cheap I am, I'm not as cheap as you. You have Tao Yanran but you still pester me. What? She can't satisfy you so you bite people like a mad dog? So in the end it's because I didn't satisfy you, right? You're empty and lonely so you go around seducing other men, isn't that right? Word by word, the man's face became increasingly gloomy and terrifying. Is it because you're empty? So what if it is? It's none of your business. Let go of me. Tao Yuan twisted her body and used her hand to pry open his fingers. Chapter 519. I'm in love with you? Luli fiercely rolled his eyes. You're such a cheap woman. How can you be worthy of my love? But I, Luli, am not so broad-minded that I can turn a blind eye to my wife's affair. You've made me a cuckold. How can I not say a word? I'm not your wife. I won't be soon. You've made me lose face. That's right. Since you think I'm a disgrace, then let's get a divorce. If I'm not Mrs. Liu, then I won't be able to embarrass you anymore. Isn't this a way to solve the problem once and for all? Just sign the papers and we'll both be free. It's not that cheap. His body pressed against hers. This is my fault, isn't it? Is that so? Tao Yuan was furious. Let go of me. How will you know if you don't try? You. Tao Yuan was anxious. She reached out to push him, but he grabbed her wrist and held it above her head. Right now, she could only move her upper body. The rest of her body was completely suppressed. She was like a bird whose wings were broken, unable to flutter. All of this made Tao Yuan feel terrified. When he was angry, he could do anything. She couldn't escape even if she had to risk her life. Why aren't you talking, him? Weren't you so glib just now? He looked mockingly at her face that was flushed red with anger. Compared to her pale face earlier, it was much livelier. She was like a beautiful wild rose. It really was a different kind of beauty. Say something, Why aren't you scolding me anymore? You scoundrel. Tao Yuan squeezed out these 3 words. Scoundrel? Pervert? Aren't you tired of scolding me with these 2 words? Where's your sharp tongue? Aren't you very arrogant? Do you think you're very capable in front of me? You like to provoke me, don't you? Stupid. Do you think I can't handle a woman like you? Luli narrowed his eyes, a dangerous yet enchanting light hovering in his eyes. She raised her chin and refused to look at him, so he squeezed her tightly, forcing her to only see him in her eyes. You don't dare to look at me? Scared? You disgust me. Really? When women say that it's disgusting, it means that they like it, right? You're shaking, do you know that? His lips were next to her ear, and he slowly breathed into her ear, causing her body to quiver like a sieve. Luli, don't do this again, I'm going to call for help. Tao Yuan's heart was beating like a drum. She wanted to stop him, but she didn't want Pan Chi to see this scene and see her in such a sorry state. Scream, he encouraged her with a half smile. Tao Yuan gritted her teeth and refused to let him succeed. His brows were tightly knitted together as he endured the pain with great difficulty. This woman's arrogance and stubbornness that she would rather die than submit were really charming at times. Is it hard to endure? Tao Yuan couldn't say a word. Powerful? His brazenness only made her feel disgusted. You're tired of playing with little fresh meat, so you want to have a taste of an old man, right? Tao Yuan squeezed out a cold mockery. Don't be too arrogant. Maybe those women of yours are just pretending for the sake of money. Who doesn't know how to act? Do you really think you're that good? Are you really provoking me? His lips landed on top of hers, deliberately moving, but he didn't really kiss her. It was more like he was playing with his prey. Tao Yuan couldn't get rid of that hot breath and was about to go crazy. She didn't like the feeling of being played by him. Oh, he was really a devil. But she didn't want to go to hell with him. Say something, do you like this? Do you like it? Lu Li's patience was on the verge of collapsing. He kissed her on the lips. Tao Yuan tilted her head to avoid it, but he didn't give up and chased after her. She kept twisting her cheeks and the two of them kept competing. He couldn't get it no matter what. He was a little annoyed and his actions became more and more rough. He broke into my house, take him away. Pan Chi walked in with 2 security guards and saw such a scene. Tao Yuan was pressed against the wall by Lu Li and kissed forcefully. Her hair was messy and her face was red. This erotic scene made the 2 security guards blush. Tao Yuan just wanted to dig a hole and hide in it. Why did he always embarrass her? After coming back to her senses, Pan Chi urged. Why are you still standing here? He broke into my house. Don't you care? What are you security guards doing? The 2 security guards were deterred by Lu Li's cold eyes. They looked at each other and no one dared to move. Pan Chi stomped her feet anxiously. Are you guys dead? The flame in Lu Li's body gradually cooled down, and his eyes were frozen. In a flash, he returned to his cold and ruthless appearance. He straightened up and adjusted his tie. If I want to arrest someone, I should arrest you. His cold eyes looked at Pan Chi with warning. Can I sue you for abducting my wife? I abducted her? She couldn't stand you and asked me for help, okay? If you want to sue me, I'll sue you. It's natural for a husband to do that to his wife. You're getting divorced? Who said that? I didn't agree. Lu Li looked at Tao Yuan and wanted to take her away, but she had suffered a lot tonight. He decided to give her some time to recover. I'll settle this with you slowly. After saying this, the arrogant man walked away. Tao Yinran returned to the hotel and took out her phone. There was still no call from Lu Li, not even a good night text. He was in such a hurry to leave just now. It was obvious that he went to find Tao Yuan. She was very surprised that he left her behind to settle the score with Tao Yuan. Lu Li was a person who would not spend any effort on something he did not care about. Even if Tao Yuan embarrassed him, he did not have to be so anxious. Did he care about her that much? This speculation made Tao Yinran very unhappy. But she had always been a person who did not want to find trouble for herself, so she quickly stopped this idea. Lu Li obviously still loved her. She had no doubt about this. As for caring so much about that matter, it was just for the man's face. After drinking half a bottle of red wine, Tao Yinran picked up her phone and called Ouyang Shura. He quickly picked up. Aren't you busy at this time? Why do you have time to call me? The man's voice was lazy, moving, and had a kind of casual sex appeal. Am I disturbing you? Is there anyone else around you? No. Oh? It's rare that you, young Master Ouyang, are alone tonight. What? Are you used to foreign girls so you don't like domestic women? Yes, my appetite has been spoiled by you. I like people like you. Hee, I believe you. I called to praise you for using Tao Yuan's colleagues to frame her as a third party. You are really ruthless. If it weren't for you, Ali and I would not be able to enjoy this good show today. As long as you are happy. I'm really glad that we are on the same side. If we were enemies, I would be worried. He's not here? Yes. Tao Yinran tried to be brave. You don't think I would let him get me so quickly, do you? If it's too easy, men don't cherish it. So I let him go. Oh. His voice was meaningful. Tao Yinran was guilty, so she sensitively felt that he knew what was going on, but he did not expose it. This made her feel ashamed. Then, are you lonely now by yourself? He asked. What? Do you want to come and accompany me? It depends on whether you want to or not. From the beginning they were just allies, so Tao Yanran did not think that way. However, Ouyang Shua was a very charming man, and his sex skills were first class. Plus, she was very empty now, so when he said that, she was a little tempted. Deep down in her bones, she was a restless woman. If you want to come, I won't stop you. Through the phone, Tao Yanran still had a wild smile on her face. You are not only a good ally but also an excellent sex partner? Oh? Compared with Luli? If you want to know, you can come and ask me. Her meaning was very clear. Venting her disappointment through sexual indulgence was the most direct and enjoyable way. However, Ouyang Shua smiled deeply and then said, "Good night." Tao Yanran realized that she had been fooled. Not only that, but she also behaved very actively. Biting her lip, she was a little unwilling, but in order to save her face, she still had to pretend to be indifferent. "Good night." After hanging up the phone, she continued to drink the rest of the wine and gradually calmed down. She was glad that she did not make a mistake because of a moment of loneliness. A few years ago, because she could not resist Ouyang Shua, she betrayed Luli, which gave Tao Yuan something to use against them and broke them up. For this she paid the price for a whole 4 years. She must not make the same mistake again. Ouyang Shua was a devil. Today he was her ally, but tomorrow he might become her enemy. She had better not get too involved with him so as not to fall into the same trap. Once she got Luli back, she would completely cut off all ties with Ouyang Shua. The next day when Tao Yuan arrived at the hotel, Lao Liang was already there. He looked at her awkwardly and always looked like he wanted to say something. Tao Yuan did not show any abnormality. Some things should be kept in the heart. There was no need to make it known to everyone in the company. When she was making coffee, Lao Liang walked in. You are here. Yes. I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. Really, I'm sorry. I didn't expect that it would cause such a big mess. It's okay. As long as the misunderstanding is cleared up. You must be looking down on me now, right? That's your private life. It has nothing to do with me. Tao Yuan tried to show that it did not matter, but in fact, how could she not have any thoughts at all? She did not like to criticize others' lives, but Lao Liang was her good friend. Are we not even friends anymore? Tao Yuan stopped in her tracks. In the end, she couldn't help but turn around. Chapter 520. I didn't want to. I just couldn't control myself. Yes, my life is very happy, but it's also very dull. You know, men like the young and fresh. Life has turned me into a zombie and I want something different. So, the betrayal satisfied you, right? Do you think it's different enough now? Lao Liang shook his head, his face full of pain. Do you think I regret it? I definitely regret it. But if I were to do it again, I would still make the same mistake. I should be treating you as a good friend. To be honest, a man can't stand a dull life for too long. It's really hard to stay faithful in marriage. Tao Yuan opened her mouth, but she couldn't refute. Because men all had this concept, so in marriage, the woman was often the one who suffered. She couldn't change this. In the end, she didn't say anything. Anyway, it was meaningless to say anything, so she left in silence. President's office. Zhou Xingyang handed a document to Lu Li. Inside was a stack of photos of Lao Liang and a young girl. There were photos taken by others, photos of the two of them hugging each other, and even photos of them in bed. This girl is only 20 this year. She's a student and a part-time singer in a bar. Manager Liang met her at the bar. According to the girl, after they got together, Lao Liang paid for her tuition and often gave her money. They have been together for 2 years, and during this time, Manager Liang didn't have any other women. Lu Li thought indifferently. This was proof of the saying that you can't judge a book by its cover. A man who looked honest actually had an 18-year-old girl. She could almost be his daughter, right? Of course, that had nothing to do with him. The point wasn't his mistress Tao Yuan? Although he went to find trouble with her last night, he didn't think clearly in a moment of anger. There was a voice in his body telling him that she, Tao Yuan, was not his mistress. Perhaps it was because he believed this that he sent someone to investigate instead of directly convicting her. Last night was a karaoke event organized by the Ministry of Commerce. It ended at 11 p.m., but Madame might have left something behind, so she went back. Coincidentally, she met Manager Liang at the elevator, so there was a misunderstanding later. Lu Li didn't ask him if the investigation was clear enough. Well done. Zhou Xingyang was stunned. If he remembered correctly, this was the first time he was praised after working for so long, right? It wasn't that Lu Li was stingy with praise, but he had high expectations for himself and his subordinates. It was a must to do things well. Praising him for something like this? For a moment, Zhou Xingyang felt that it was really amazing. The boulder that had been pressing on Lu Li's heart since last night finally fell to the ground. His lips curled into a faint smile. Tao Yuan stayed at Pan Chi's house for a few days. When she remembered that she hadn't been home for almost a week, she decided to go back. Anyway, Lu Li was busy making love with his Tao Yanran, so he was definitely not at home. With this thought in mind, she returned home. When she opened the door, the man was drinking water in a pair of briefs. His slender body seemed to be plated with a faint layer of gold, and his figure was comparable to that of the god Apollo. Even the way he drank the water was perfect. What a beautiful day! Tao Yuan swallowed her saliva and looked at him in a daze. After a few seconds, she recovered from his mocking gaze and asked with a frown, "Why are you here?" Lu Li put the glass of water back on the table and slowly threw out this sentence. "Why can't I be here? This is my home. It's also my home. Not your home. It's my home." Tao Yuan couldn't be bothered to continue such a meaningless argument. She looked around the house. It was clean and tidy, which meant one thing. "You've been living here for the past few days? Alone? Otherwise, shouldn't you be with Tao Yanran? Distance makes the heart grow fonder. We don't have to be together all the time." He said it calmly. Tao Yuan rolled her eyes. "You've just rekindled your relationship. Shouldn't you be sticking to each other like glue? Why are you pretending to be calm?" "I'm back. Hurry up and go over." "Why?" "Because I'm back. If the two of us stay in the same place, won't we make each other unhappy? You find me an eyesore and I don't like you either. Why bother?" "Really? Then I'm honored to make you unhappy." He continued to walk back and forth in the living room. The scene was unbearable to look at. In fact, he used to be like this. Most of the time at home he only wore one pair. Tao Yuan was used to looking at him, but after not seeing him for a few days she felt a little embarrassed. Her eyes didn't know where to look. Damn it. She didn't usually see him working out. How on earth did he maintain such a good figure? He was really a walking sculpture. Every muscle line was as three-dimensional as if carved by a knife. Those strong chest muscles were very eye-catching. She really wanted to touch them. She shook her head. How could she have such a terrible thought? Not far away, a luxury sports car worth tens of millions was driving very slowly. The driver was a wild and handsome mixed-race man, swaying his body to the music. One look and you could tell that he was not a decent person. He asked the woman in the passenger seat in a very high mood. "Baby, where are we going tonight?" Lu Qingwan looked up after sending the WeChat message. "Watch the road. My car was just shipped back from abroad. If it gets damaged, you won't be able to pay for it even if you sell it. Your Lu family is the richest in Motu City. What is this car? I like it too. Can you give it to me?" Lu Qingwan rolled her eyes at him and said arrogantly, "Our Lu family has a lot of money. What is a car? It depends on you." "I can't." What a joke. He was the best in the bar street. "Did you bring that? What do you want that for?" "You're pregnant. I can be your family's son-in-law." "You wish. Let's not go to the bar tonight. Let's go straight to the hotel." Lu Qingwan inadvertently looked out of the window. Two familiar figures entered her eyes. She quickly called out, "Stop the car." As soon as the car came to a stop, he rushed out in a hurry. Tao Yuan and Lu Li were slowly walking in the direction of home. "It's getting late. You finished the porridge. You should go accompany your Tao Yanran." "I'm not in a hurry." "Why are you in a hurry? Don't you think you're abnormal? Your sweetheart is back. Shouldn't you be guarding her all the time?" Tao Yuan mocked in a bold manner. *T. The thought of him touching her with the dirty hands that touched Tao Yanran, Tao Yuan had goosebumps all over her body. It was so disgusting. "You might as well just kill me." The smile on his face was unusually bright. "Even if I want to kill you, I will rape first and then kill." "You're shameless." Their relationship was like fire and water. Was it suitable for this kind of joke? He really thought of himself as a pervert. A figure blocked their way and Lu Qingwan asked angrily, "Brother, why are you with her?" Tao Yuan wondered where this Lu Qingwan came from. Both brother and sister were so annoying. "You guys talk slowly. I'm going back." "Stop. Don't go." Lu Qingwan blocked her way. "Brother, say something. Why are you guys together?" Shouldn't you be accompanying Sister Yanran? Tao Yuan glanced at Lu Li. Yes, she also wanted to know the answer to this question. Why are you here? Lu Li was a little annoyed with Lu Qingwan. She was too unruly and didn't know how to control her words. Sometimes even he, as her brother, couldn't stand it. That's not important. What's important is, why are you with this bitch? Lu Qingwan noticed that neither of them brought a bag. Moreover, Lu Li was dressed very casually. He didn't look like someone who just got off work. He looked more like a couple taking a walk in the neighborhood after a meal. Wait, isn't Tao Yuan's apartment just in front? Lu Qingwan seemed to have discovered something big and screamed. Oh my god, brother, don't tell me you're living with this woman? The sharp voice stung Tao Yuan's eardrums. She couldn't help but frown. I have a name and I'm your sister-in-law in name. Don't call me this woman, this bitch. If you continue to be so reckless, I don't mind teaching you a lesson on behalf of Dad. Lu Qingwan ignored him and anxiously grabbed Lu Li's arm. Brother, what's going on? Hurry up and tell me. Tell me you two aren't living together, right? Aren't you two incompatible like fire and water? Aren't you two going to divorce? When did I say I was going to divorce? Lu Li's expression revealed a trace of impatience. I said this is our business. Don't worry about it. You're my brother. How can I not care? Isn't Sister Yanran back? You two should be living together. Why are you living with this woman? When did it start? Are you crazy? It seemed that this farce wouldn't end anytime soon. Tao Yuan wanted to leave, but Lu Qingwan grabbed her. Her eyes were so fierce that she wanted to skin her alive. For a second, Tao Yuan even felt that she had stolen Lu Qingwan's man. You're the bitch who seduced my brother, right? What drug did you give him? Sister Yanran is already back, but you're still pestering my brother. Don't you have any shame? You can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want. Am I pestering your brother, or is he pestering me? You should be clear about this. Don't bite people randomly. Lu Li's face darkened. Are you kidding me? How could my brother pester you? You must have used some tricks to confuse him. How much do you want to hurt him? You vicious bitch. Exasperated, Lu Qingwan tried to slap Tao Yuan in the face, but she was intercepted by Tao Yuan in midair. Tao Yuan slapped Lu Qingwan back. Enough. Lu Li grabbed her hand. Let's talk nicely. Don't hit me. Tao Yuan sneered. Look at her. She's like a mad dog. How can we talk nicely? She was the one who started it. I was just teaching her a lesson. Should I be humiliated by her? She twisted her wrist a few times and pulled her hand back. Your Lu family is really a piece of work. See if I don't tear your mouth apart. Lu Qingwan wanted to rush over again but was stopped by Lu Li. Enough. Stop messing around. Lu Li grabbed Lu Qingwan and said with a heavy tone. You have nothing to do here. Go back. Let go of me, let go. Lu Qingwan was struggling non-stop. Chapter 521. Enough. Don't you feel ashamed to make such a ruckus on the street? Lu Li pushed her away with some force. Lu Qingwan took a few steps back in her high heels and almost fell. Her eyes immediately turned as red as a rabbit's as she pointed at Tao Yuan hatefully. You actually hit me for this bitch. What kind of curse did she cast on you? Can't you wake up? Are you going to let Sister Yanran down by being with her? This is my business. Don't get involved. Lu Li was annoyed. He grabbed Tao Yuan and left Lu Qingwan. Brother, he didn't even look back when he left. Lu Qingwan was so angry that she stomped her feet and shouted on the street. What's wrong, baby? The mixed-blood man saw that he couldn't afford to offend Lu Li, so he hid in the car and only dared to come out after he left. He bullied you? I'll help you teach him a lesson. Stop pretending. Where did you go just now? You useless piece of trash. Lu Qingwan gave him a hard slap, but he was still smiling cheekily. He even put the other side of his face in front of her. Don't be angry, okay? I'll hit you again. Get lost. Lu Qingwan kicked him and got in the car. They entered the neighborhood. Let go. Tao Yuan kept struggling and struggled to get her wrist out of Lu Li's hand. Her wrist was red. You got the wrong person, right? Shouldn't you be coaxing your baby sister? What if she tells Tao Yanran? You won't be able to explain yourself, right? Lu Li frowned. His displeasure was written all over his face. What I want to do is my own business. I don't need you to teach me. I say, do you have to be so sarcastic with your words? How did I offend you? Tao Yuan squeezed out a fake smile. I'm just worried about you. It wouldn't be good if you and Tao Yanran quarreled because of us. Hey, you can't wait for that, right? The corners of Lu Li's mouth twitched. That's not it. Right now, I can't wait for you to be with her. That way she won't bother me anymore. Do you really want to push me away? Lu Li couldn't stand her attitude the most. It was as if she despised him. It was as if he wasn't an object that she could throw to whoever she wanted. I can't afford it and I don't want it. Who gave you such a stubborn temper? It doesn't matter who it is. It's not you. Tao Yuan couldn't stand his tone either. It was the kind of male chauvinist and arrogant man who only cared about his own feelings and never thought about the feelings of others. It was as if no matter how angry he was, she had the obligation to endure it and not show any emotion. What she needed, she thought, was a blow-up doll, not a person. Lu Li was so angry that his liver was trembling. Can't you ever speak properly? That can't be helped. I'll speak the language of the person and speak the language of the ghost. Different people have different attitudes. Towards you guys, this is the only attitude I have. If you don't like to be rebuffed, then ignore me. As for me, I don't want to deal with you. You still have a glib tongue, don't you? Do you think you're very awesome now? Look at you. Who can stand you? Then how can I stand you? But at least I didn't take the initiative to appear in front of you to give you face. But you show up in front of me every other day. It's not like I have to take all kinds of shit and pee. Your Tao Yanran is so gentle. Why don't you go find her? Lu Li became angry as soon as he heard her speak. In the beginning she would put on an act and speak gently. However, deep down she was cold and vulnerable and didn't care about anything. At that time he really wanted to tear off her mask and force her to quarrel with him. But now that he really forced her to be like a hedgehog, he would rather she shut her mouth. Every word she said was challenging the limits of his tolerance. Don't talk about Yanran. You don't deserve to mention her name. What do you mean? Tao Yanran, Tao Yanran, Tao Yanran. As long as I like it, I can say it 10,000 times. Am I making you especially unbearable now? Then let me tell you, as long as you don't get a divorce, I will treat you with this attitude. And I can promise you that it will not ease up. It will only get worse. If you don't want to see me like this, then get a divorce as soon as possible. All her topics of conversation revolved around divorce. The corner of Lu Li's mouth twitched, and he squeezed out a sarcastic and cold-blooded smile. In the end, aren't you just trying to provoke me? Do you think this will work on me? Tao Yuan, you should know what kind of person I am. You're really too inexperienced to fight with me. At least I have the ability to make things difficult for you, don't I? Don't overestimate yourself. How can you make things difficult for me with just a few words? Don't think you're so great just because you've been in the business world for a few years. When my company was listed in the United States, you were still making copies for people. Tao Yuan chuckled. You can't win me in an argument, so you start to emphasize your great achievements? I said, no matter how successful a man is in his career, as long as he is morally corrupt, he is still a scum. Do you have the most basic manners for a man? Why don't I have them? I don't know. Forcibly staying in someone else's house, beating a woman and violating a woman, this is called having manners. Your upbringing really makes me gasp in amazement. Lu Li also rolled his eyes. Maybe it's because you're exuding an aura that deserves a beating. If you could behave, would I hit you? A real man will use his charisma to conquer a woman. Only a barbarian will use force. This is also a manifestation of incompetence. A primitive man would just knock a woman unconscious and drag her back to his cave to be his wife. You're the same, right? Looking at her snow-white teeth opening and closing, Lu Li had the urge to pull out all her teeth or sew them back together. But other than that, he actually wanted to kiss her fiercely. He wanted to kiss her until she shut up, until she melted in his arms, until she trembled all over. His throat subconsciously choked, and his eyes became even more passionate. However, of course, Tao Yuan would never think that a man would have a reaction during an argument, so she instinctively thought that the fire in his eyes was anger. But she was not afraid and continued to raise her chin. Looks like you want to hit me again, don't you? Come and hit me. Anyway, it's not the first time. Lu Li closed his eyes. It looked like he was suppressing his anger, but in fact he was suppressing his impulse in that aspect. If she knew what he was thinking, this damned woman would laugh to death. Did you? I don't want to dirty my hands. Just now you wanted to hit Qingwan on the street. Is there a sister-in-law like you? Ha, sister-in-law? When Tao Yuan heard this, she was as sarcastic as she could be. I've been married into your family for 4 years. Has she ever treated me as a sister-in-law? Does she treat me as an enemy, the kind that can't live under the same sky as her? Besides, was I the one who made the first move? Do you believe that if she had a gun in her hand she could have killed me with one shot? I was just defending myself. Is there anything wrong with that? Do I deserve to stand there and be hit by her? Aren't I here? I won't let her hit you. Tao Yuan smiled and shook her head. What was this called? Lying through your teeth? Last time, when I was beaten up by someone, didn't you just stand by and watch? Do you think I will believe you now that you're saying this? I only know that when she hit me you didn't stop her, but when I hit her, you stopped me. I'm not like her. No one will protect me and I have no one to rely on. I can only protect myself. Although her tone was very harsh, Lu Li's heart suddenly tightened and he felt a little sorry for her. It was said that a woman's strength was forced. If someone doted on her, which woman would be willing to be like this? In the end, he was the one who forced her to this point. Didn't I let her go just now? Isn't that enough? I didn't allow her to hit you. What I mean is she's still young. Can't you give in to her a little? She's still young at 20? A normal person should have established a sense of right and wrong at the age of 15 or 16, and she's just that selfish and barbaric. Moreover, she actually did something that even adults can't do. This shows how ruthless she is. You saw how she and your mother treated me in the first year of our marriage. She was only 16 years old at that time and she was already so vicious. I don't even dare to think about how I endured it at that time. At that time, I was naive enough to think that my tolerance would be exchanged for a little bit of kindness from them. I thought that the situation would change, but what did I get? I'll never forget the hurt they brought me 3 years ago. Subconsciously, Lu Li wanted to escape. That wasn't just a scar in her heart, but it was also his. All these years, this was the thing that he felt he had let down Tao Yuan the most. It made him unable to lift his head in front of her. Mother-in-law and youngest aunt teamed up to force someone else to rape me. If this gets out, no one would believe it, right? Just how ruthless must a person's heart be in order to do such a heinous thing? Now that she thought about it, Tao Yuan still trembled all over. She couldn't bear to think about the horrifying memory. However, it often appeared in her dreams, haunting her like a ghost, causing her to wake up from nightmares. That scar was imprinted on her body, and it could never be erased. Although they weren't the ones who raped me, they were even more hateful than that person. Do you know that I can sue them? If a woman assists another person to commit a crime, it can also be considered as covering up. Of course you won't be afraid. The Lu family can cover the sky with one hand. Even if it's murder and arson, they can still suppress it. How can I sue them? Lu Li was silent. He had never told her that it wasn't like what his mother had said, that he had single-handedly arranged it. On the contrary, when he knew about it, he had immediately rushed to the hotel to save her, but he was a step too late. Since the damage had already been done, it was useless for him to say anything. Moreover, this matter was ultimately caused by him and it was all his fault. I'm sorry. In the end, he could only utter the weakest apology. However, this was the only time Tao Yuan heard him apologize to her for that matter. After 3 years, she finally heard it. She didn't know if she should feel ironic, or if she should feel a little relieved to finally hear it. There were all sorts of complicated feelings in her heart. Perhaps she shouldn't have mentioned it at all. For a moment, she was filled with emotions, but in the end, she could only shake her head. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.